Welcome to iCast Summon Friends. Picking up from last time, we've got Buruk, Lyroon, Ravenous, Nanto. Hallow isn't here today, but we have got Flair, who may or may not be joining, depending on how quickly the guys are able to wrangle through the various things ahead of them.
We're all gonna die.
There's a distinct possibility of you all dying. So, as I say, yeah, Buruk, Ravenous, Lyroon, Nanto here today. Where we left off, the story so far. So yeah, this arena gladiator Will had gone missing after being quite vocal about her displeasure about Lord Flashheart, leader of a local adventurer group, kitting out all of his team with wands of fireball and just instantly immolating a dragon. And she quite likes slaying dragons. She was quite upset about that. The guys, the gang, Sorry
to interrupt. Sorry, what adjective did you? Sorry, what verb did you say for what Will likes to do to dragons?
Immolating.
Okay.
Not allowed. Anyway, so the gang have gone investigating. They found some evidence out at one of the farms related to Lord Flashheart, but no hard evidence. And so they went to his manor directly while he was out fighting in the arena, which they had set up. What had meant to be a very smooth operation immediately went, I think the phrase is tits up. And so they went inside. They managed to charm one of the guardsmen to giving them a tour while a couple of them were invisibly exploring. But immediately one of them found a secret tunnel, and they all dashed inside and discovered that the secret tunnel was just leading to a saucy dungeon attached to the sort of arts gallery.
See, again, you're calling it saucy. I really do think dungeon. This is, the more time goes on, I'm like,
I mean, yeah, I mean, you weren't there when it was originally described, but yeah.
What do you mean?
But, I mean, we all know from the description given what we were walking into.
Well, it's Lord Flashheart. It's his fault. Anyway, so the guards all saw, three of these adventurers charging into this room that they know is definitely off limits and were triggered. Johnny, the one who's charmed, was trying his very best to calm them down, but vastly outweighed. Reinforcements started piling in, and the gang found themselves trapped in a pretty dire situation. Nanto is pontificating as best he can. You guys are just about to approach round 8, actually. I worked it out and sat down and watched the other episodes. Meanwhile, Ravenous and Hallow have been out exploring the manor and found a couple of interesting bits, some pretty decent evidence of what's been going on, and actually managed to find their way down into the basement where they found the real basement, not this side dungeon basement, where they found they've already found one prisoner. And they've already taken out one guard pretty viciously. I think it involved just smacking his head into the staircase repeatedly.
Oh, I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, that was Hallow.
That was all Hallow.
Yeah, it was bad. So that's where we left off last time. It was just coming up, in fact, to the guard's turn in the extra fun situation of this. Where there are, what's that, 9, 10, 11, like 13 guards or something, all standing in front of you trying to get in. Lyroon trying to do his very best to hold the door. Buruk is on death's door. The painting keeps trying to get itself back up, and then Nanto keeps just flicking it back down. But it's a tough bout that's going on. We're just about to come. So, Lyroon, what's your current health?
My current health is 78.
What's your real current health?
I don't know. That's not how that works. But...
Give it a G status.
No, okay. 23?
23 out of 38. So, the showdown.
And do remember that I'm currently dodging.
Yeah, you're currently taking... Yes, yeah, you are. So you're taking dodge action.
It's important.
It is
I'm
very...
taking the speak action.
yeah, Nanto's definitely taking the speak action. So
just very quickly, Sam, you were said to remind you that something was going to happen.
Thank you. Thank you, darling. Yes, it will be.
I don't know what
And
that means, but I was told to remind him something.
Why
is
did you
going
do
to
that?
happen.
No,
Why?
That is dangerous to us.
Why did you keep your word?
I actually really like
How
that
could
it's.
you do that?
Yes, I did ask you to do that. Thank you, darling. Storaboo.
Why?
Okay.
Why would you do that?
Because I'm a
understand.
very good weef.
you're gonna get us all killed, and it's all gonna be your fault.
Going to be a
It's
two-man
not
party
Sam's
from
fault.
here on.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sorry, I'm just.
I was thinking also, if Hala is not joining, maybe Flair could pilot them for us.
That would
Fleur,
make life a lot
good
easier.
Fleur, how good is your Texan accent?
Oh, I
Female
don't
Texan.
know, y'all. I might have some of a hard time pulling that one off.
No, actually,
There
that's
you go.
really good.
Oh,
Is like Hannah's
I
here.
have family in Texas, so.
Holy moly.
Perfect.
Sam, move over.
Yeah, please.
Don't
please.
ask the English guy to stop.
That was amazing. Yeah, because mine's awful. So the guys have been listening to me butcher it whenever Hala isn't able to turn up.
Okay, the
yeah.
only thing is that I don't know a lot about Hala, so you guys are gonna have to help me out there.
Yeah,
Punch
She likes
yourself a bunch.
punching. She likes punching. She hates books.
yeah,
It's
She's very
intelligence.
stupid.
yeah.
Just
I
make
do
rash
not have
decisions.
access to the character sheet, so Sam, I'll let you know what Hala will do and you'll push the buttons. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure. Otherwise, yeah, we can set you up with it. But for now,
She's
In the meantime-
in high whiz.
yeah, we'll get to Hala in a moment. But that is much better than me doing it. So
I'm full of those
The-
good ideas.
the guard's turn. So the blackguard goes first, and yeah, it's this hulking armored plate. Yeah, it's dressed in plate armor head to toe, and it's got this weighty great sword in hand, and comes hacking forth towards Lyroon. And he's ready for it. He immediately steps to the right and just slaps the great sword out of the way, and just hacks into the side of the door frame, and he wrenches it free. And he goes, "Tough one. Okay. See if you dodge this," and then just hacks forward in a big overhead swing. And Lyra attempts to duck out of the way, but he's ready for it this time, and so just twists it as Lyra's ducking and just slashes across his shoulder. And let's see what the damage. I should have done damage before I did the description. That is 13 damage. So yeah, just a vicious gouge carved out of Lyroon's shoulder. The other guards then start moving in, and this you're actually sorry, no, the black guard steps back to make space for another guard. Lyroon, so you got an attack opportunity if you want to take it.
Ooh. No. This is all wrong. He's stunned, remember?
No. Hang
Clearly, that is a no.
on.
Hold it.
So-
Objection!
Objection.
Objection.
Yeah, so you'd stun the black guard.
Oh, when he tried to step away, I'm like, solar plexus.
Right,
Not
sorry,
Solar plexus.
because it lasts until the end of. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the. Wait, so the stunning lasts until the end of your next turn, right?
Yeah.
When someone steps away.
No.
You go straight after the guard's turn. Unless you had done that as part of your turn rather than as a reaction.
I
Can't quite remember now. I should have written this down.
I'm pretty sure that
Literally just watched the episode.
Yeah.
if we had stopped it after our turns and tried the Forgotten's, that must have been done on his turn.
That makes a lot more sense. All right, let's go with that. Let me just write this down. So I should actually remember. I should have written this down last time. Sorry, folks.
We forgive you this time.
So the black girl's standing there, just swaying from side to side, speaking incoherently. So scratch all of that. The other guards surrounding him on either side start moving with their spears and just trying to thrust at Lyroon. He's easily able to slap them aside. They're not particularly skillful by any means. So he's just spear points just slamming into the door frame around him as he weaves between the blows. There's really only one other person in this room who can do any kind of scariness here, and that is the other blackguard. So they're striding forwards. There's quite a lot of various other guards to work through, so give me a moment. Yeah, so literally every single one of the red guards, regular guards, is just completely ineffectually just trying to stab at Lyroon, worming, almost crowding around this doorway and being ineffectual. And then they sort of part ways, and this other one comes through. The description I gave earlier applies now, where he's giving his swing. First one, Lyroon's able to, the second one does strike. So that's 13 damage to Lyroon.
And that includes the whatever 2 for people in the way.
Sorry, so I'm going to rearrange the map in a second, but that was with his greatsword. So if I just get up.
Hey, Flare, do me a favor.
Meow. What?
You can't just meow at people.
Why the hell not?
Basically,
What's up?
entirely Sam and my communication. You can't say we
Yeah,
can't meow.
it's like half my language. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What's up?
Mao?
Type that in for me.
What?
In the every spam channel.
Oh, I haven't muted. Okay.
Yeah, so that will get you as if you got the character set up in Navre.
I will do this.
Excellent. So, as I say, 13 damage to you, Lyrie, from the great sword. And now both the black guards standing in front of you, one of them sort of swaying incoherently after you've been slapping them up a bit. But the other guards unable to lay a single scratch upon you. You're just easily slapping aside those spears time and time again. Yeah, patient defense with not particularly high to attack, but certainly works in your favor. Finally, there's the painting, which casts telekinesis again, starts rising up off the ground and like levels itself ready, and he's like, now then, I am really rather losing my patience with all of this. If you do that one more time, there will be consequences. And starts waving around the sword again. And now it's the start of your guys' turn. So the way we're going to do it this episode, we're just going to focus on this scene for a few turns until we got this wrapped up, and then we'll move over to the other one. So you are currently starting round 8. So you got this and 2 more.
Continue pontification and slam the painting back down. Strength save.
Yeah. So that's the painting's not done particularly well at these up till now, and continues to not do so. So I mean that was a good roll, but it's got a very bad mod, and your DC is good enough. So immediately it starts rising up in the air, and it's given this taunt, and then Nanto makes that singular flicking gesture, and immediately the painting just slaps back down to the ground again.
And I'm going to say just empty words from an empty soul.
It's a little much coming for the war force.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's then again nice.
Okay, so Burke, Lyroon, what are you guys doing?
What are you doing, Burrock?
So I'm thinking whether you want me to step in, because I've currently got about half my HP, because I checked down a potion, you heal me a little. I could probably take a round. Unlikely to take more than a round, frankly. And I've got just about nothing to do at range. No, wait, actually I do have a glaive if we want to play it that way.
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna die, but that's fine. I was gonna die anyways.
Oh yeah, and we realised with Burke as well actually that you you get 2 attacks per action.
That was one turn screwed, but I think that's
no, so
normal.
you still got your action surge. Basically, you used your action surge to take what would have been a normal turn at the start of this combat. So yeah,
So
you can do many stabs.
ignore that for the moment. And I do still have 2 maneuvers at my disposal if it comes to it. So one thing we can do, if you're interested, Lyroon, I have a maneuvering attack, which means as I attack, I can basically do a tag team movement of getting you out of there, stepping in.
Okay, yeah. Let me punch the black guard a bunch. And
So there's stuns. Yeah, so the stun one, he's looking pretty wounded as well. He's pretty much on death's door at the end of your last turn.
But one moment, I'm just double checking whether I can do that while I have to actually be hitting to do that.
Yeah, you have to make an no, you just got to attack. I believe you don't have to hit. Wait,
When you hit with a weapon attack.
let me double check this.
No, it's specifically says when you hit.
Okay, so yeah, you got to make a hit. So first of all, let's have Lyroon then. So you got advantage because they're stunned.
Awesome. Let me go to the right page because somehow I was on someone else's character sheet.
Ooh.
Right, no, I remember why. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, a 2 attacks against the blackguard in front of me at advantage. So that's boop, boop. So the 18 hits for. These are
This is to work out your advantage. So your first 2 attacks, so your first attempt you get a 24 with 8 damage, which hits.
These are, of course, non-lethal.
Non-lethal on the blackguard, okay. And then the second, you get a 26 to hit, and that's 7 damage. So, the first, how are you doing this?
As he's pulling back from his greatsword, just a punch right in the armpit, and then a knee to the groin.
Right, okay. So just as he's slashed forward with the greatsword, and he's carved this pretty grievous wound across your shoulder, down across your chest, and you're just rearing it back, getting ready to pull it back again, and you just slam your palm into his armpit, and the greatsword sort of goes slightly limp in his hand. So this is the stunned one, so he's actually just sort of been waving around anyway.
Oh, right, sure.
But he's just been sort of wavering there, and you just slam your hand into his armpit, and he's just, the greatsword's like starting to go limp, like droop down to his side, and then you just slam forward with your knee straight into the groin, and he just sort of crumples forward and flops to the ground in front of you, and clattering a plate armor and a sword scattering across the ground. You've taken down one of the blackguards, and you can see there's a ripple that pulses outwards from across the guards in front of you. They all start looking to each other. Obviously, the other blackguard looks utterly unperturbed, but the regular guards are all just a bit concerned. It seems like their morale wavered a little bit at seeing one of their leaders taken down. So that's your 2 attacks for your action. What else?
That's my 2 attacks for my actions. For my bonus action, I'm going to Flurry of Blows.
Mm-hmm.
On the
So you got in front of you, you got 2 targets. You got a blackguard and a red guard. They're both at full health.
I lied. I'm going to just normal. I'll do as I please. I will just normal.
Wrong.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. I will Flurry of Blows, replacing one of that with Heal. So 1 attack, 1 heal. So that's a key point.
So who are you going to hit with your attack?
I am going to hit the Northern Guard, the red one.
Red one. Okay, red guard. So let's see how you do.
CC minus CC key minus 1. Only got 1 left.
1 key point left for the monk.
And that is Flurry of Blows. That's a 17 to hit.
On the regular guard? Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Awesome. And after he crumples, it's just a pivot on foot and like a swinging kick to his head.
Cool. So you just slam your knee into the groin of the stunned guards, black guards, and then just pivot, flail around, and just wham! Your foot just cracks into the chin of this regular guard, and just spit flying out of his mouth. And then healing punch. Yeah, who are you healing punch?
Me!
And then you punch yourself.
Punch yourself in the friggin' chin.
Oh, I feel much better.
That's exactly how it works. And that is 8.
Cool. So there's a brief glow that envelops Lyroon as he harnesses his own chi to heal just a measure of the wounds. And you see that that grievous wound cut into his shoulder just knits over a measure, not entirely, but enough that he's a little bit more sturdy on his feet. Then, Baruch.
So one blackguard has fallen, which means there is an opening in front of Lyroon for me to squeeze into.
Sure is.
If you want a 5v1, yeah.
Yes, I like those odds. I will be squeezing in forwards.
So it's an even fight.
Yes. And first things first, I am going to slash at the guards to the north of us. The
Cool.
same one that my rune just hit.
Yeah, okay.
Finish him.
Lethal or non-lethal, Burke? I know you're less perturbed by such things.
So before I got severely injured, it would have been non-lethal. It's a bit too late for that.
Okay. Blood for blood. So yeah,
The
Burke's...
time for mercy is past.
So you can
Yeah.
see what to Nanto and Lyroon, you just hear what sounds like a glass full of cutlery shaking with each step that Burke takes. And he just doesn't quite shove Lyroon aside, just sort of shuffles awkwardly past. Excuse me. Okay. Give me some attack rolls against the Northguard.
So that's going to be 23 to hit for
That-
8
that-
slashing
That
damage.
definitely hits. So yeah, he's already, he's just recovering from being kicked to the face, and he's just straightening upright. And then Burke comes sweeping him with the long sword, and it's just a shallow gash opened up across his chest. He's looking bloodied.
In that case, I'm going to do a second attack at him.
Okay.
And just in case, since I have dropped my body shield at the moment, I am doing these two-handed.
Yeah. Very nice.
So a second strike is going to be 13 to hit.
Just hit. So yeah,
For
you
6
just
slashing damage.
sweep around a long sword again. So you just sweep it across his chest and then just whip it around and just bring it crashing down over. It's similar actually to that greatsword strike, just overhand, overhead. It just carves across the shoulder, down across his chest, and he just crumples before the blow and just flops backwards to the ground. And again, there's this sort of ripple across the guardsman around it. What do you do?
Excellent.
Can
So-
I can I prioritize? Can I take advantage of that morale rippling and say something?
You can certainly let's finish Burke's turn first, eh?
Sure.
Yeah. So, as is tradition, I'm going to use an action search for this. If I got into this much trouble, might as well make use of it.
Yeah. Go for it. Who are you surging against?
So that's going to be 2 more attacks. First one is going to be along against the guy to the right of us.
Mhm.
And I'm going to, if that hits, I'm going to make it a maneuvering attack as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see if this hits. That's
It's
definitely a
23
hit.
hits.
That's nice. Give me an extra 1d10 for... No, it's 1d8. Yeah, 1d8. Not-
Exactly.
Which is
That's
pretty
going to be
good.
19 slashing damage in total
Yeah.
to that card.
So he's just... so what's happened is Burke's just sort of squeezed past Lyroon, just slash, immediately finished off one of the guards, turned around, stabbed forward in a thrust towards this guard right in front of him, and it is a grievous wound. You can see he's already haggard, but struggling to stay on his feet. And, they're all looking concerned. Burke, what do you do? So he's maneuvering attack.
So I would just add to that. So as I get rid of the northern guard, as you mentioned, I basically lunge at this one. I slash him, well, not quite to death, but near that. And as that happens, I would just quickly glance to Lyroon, saying, "Pull back. I'll hold for now." And you can move up to 15 feet without provoking opportunity attacks for the moment.
Nice.
As your reaction.
I don't know if I want to anymore.
It's entirely up to you.
But you used a thing.
Oh,
You used the thing.
that's that. Yeah, you could move forwards. You could charge at them.
Move straight into him. Assert dominance.
Just T-pose. What do you do, Lyroon?
Move over to the left 5 feet.
Excellent.
Okay. So Lyroon just backs away 5 feet, just gingerly stepping off the body of one guard, Phil, in fact, to take his position just at the doorway. Right, Burke, you got one last attack left.
Indeed, I do. And let's see how that goes. It's going to be against the same target.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a 10 to hit, which I don't think hits.
Unfortunately not. So yeah, you just thrust your long sword into this guy, and while the sword is still in him, you're just turning to Lyroon and telling him to get back, and then you're just pulling the blade slowly out of him, and he's just and then you just swing forward with it again, and he's just about able to get up his spear and deflect the blow in time.
Yep.
No dice.
He might be almost dead, but that's not dead enough.
Yeah, he's looking pretty bloody wounded. Right, Lyroon, you had something in mind that you wanted to do.
I yell out as I gingerly step backwards. Stand down! Stand down! Flashheart is not worth dying over. This is absurd.
It is absurd.
At the same time, Brooke is just pretty much animalistically growling at them, though you can make out that after that comment of yours, Brooke goes, "Or I'll make you stand down." And it doesn't matter that there's already plenty of his own and everyone else has blood on him. He's still as keen to skewer as many as he can.
So it's
Hell yeah!
No way.
see, I'd been umming and erring whether that's persuasion or intimidation, but I think that tips it. Okay, so you can make an intimidation check with advantage. You effectively, it's not a help action, but he did effectively, it was a help action from murdering one of them and nearly murdering another one. Let's see how you do.
Intimidation. It's advantage. I can't see what that roll is, but it's bad.
Oh.
And that's not much better.
5 and an 8. So
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Lyroon, he's trying to like say, he's not worth dying for, but there's just a slight waver to his voice, perhaps because he was on death's door just a moment ago, and they don't quite buy into it. And then the blackguard just turns to the other and says, "Hold, if you want to live out the day," and then just turns back, great sword in hand.
Yikes.
Okay, so that's the end of that round. Then something quite unusual happens.
No.
So if I just...
One dislike.
So you had all, this thick of battle, and there's just this sudden noise, this sort of roar in the distance that you hear. It sounds like a massive, massive explosion tearing across it. So you can feel the entire mansion actually shake slightly with it. The windows rattling in their frames. Everyone give me a perception check.
Didn't hear any
I
of
would love
that.
to.
Yeah.
That includes Hannah and every. Oh no, because it's noise cancelling. Never mind.
Yeah, you don't hear anything downstairs because you're in
Do we
the creepy.
feel it though?
And this involves hearing, so I'm at advantage, correct?
It's not quite like eavesdropping and whispers, and I think that has a certain range. The earrings, I can't quite remember.
It does not say anything about range. It does say stuff about
I mean, to be fair, Nanto's already gotten a good enough perception check, but
I apologize. I apologize. It is in fact 30 feet.
Yeah, good. Because I've got a character with those earrings, so that's why I know. Give me those perception checks. So it looks like Nanto did. You did better than Nanto anyway. Burke definitely didn't because he's too preoccupied. So there's this.
Too much bloodlust at the time.
So it's this massive explosion. It sounds like Nanto Lyroon, you'd be able to, through various means in your background, you've come across a similar sound in the past. That was probably a humongous fireball, and given what you know about Lord Flashheart and his various antics, you can guess what's just happened.
Is Flashheart home?
Not quite. Given how far away it sounds. Given how far away it sounds like he and his the Daggerfall Dalliances just use their wands of fireball to finish whatever arena bout they're fighting.
Oh, okay. I'm not panicking. You are.
Or so you think.
Let me worry about blank.
What happened in truth was Ravenous picked up a necklace of fireballs and less than carefully put it back.
Yeah, I wrapped. It started screaming, so I wrapped it in stuff to muffle it and put it away.
Yeah,
So
I'm afraid I don't have it.
Yeah, so just in case, obviously that didn't happen, but if it's the necklace that we expect it is, yeah, that has a lot of fireballs in it.
Oh, goody.
Well, if that was what you found, who knows? It could have just been a ruby necklace.
Could've just been...
Nothing is ever just a thing.
So that was round 8. It's now the guard's turn. So we now have a blackguard standing next to Brooke. Brooke's just tried to intimidate them all down. He's not going to stand for that. Let's see how he does. Something about Groovy just keeps mucking up my rolls. Okay, so sweeps to that great sword again. He's coming swinging towards Buruk's to his knees, trying to cleave them out from under him. Buruk, despite all the heavy weight of his armor, despite all the ridiculous amount of weapons over him, sees it coming and is able to actually just jump slightly off the ground, just whistling under his feet. No trouble for the hobgoblin fighter, but it leaves him just a little bit off kilter, and the Blackguard raises it around, and he comes swinging back, and he just cleaves a vicious line across Buruk's hip, gouging straight through the chain metal armor. That will be 13 damage. It's another grievous line inflicted upon him. What's that drop you to, Buruk?
That'll leave me at 8 HP.
8 HP. So, meanwhile, the guards surrounding you. So, Johnny actually is one of the guards surrounding you, and he's still like just looking to others. Guys, they've done. Oh, they just wanted a tour, and and he just genuinely is concerned. But there's a bunch of other guards, and actually, now that Buruk stepped forward out of the relative safety, one of them's able to take flanking. Now you don't get advantage, but he does get +1. Per the rules, per our rules rather. Buruk, what's your AC?
It is 17 at the moment.
Okay, so he comes thrusting forward with his spear towards Buruk, and just about the point is deflected by the chain metal armor. That another blacksmith visit was already in order, but you can see the ringlets there have actually been scraped apart. There is actually almost it's scratched across your flesh. You can just feel the metal tip, not quite piercing, but just leaving an angry red line there. Almost as if someone had just got a pin and just whacked it across. The other guards do that thing again, where they're all just taking their turns, moving in to stab. Let's see how they do.
Can we pause that the moment the one to the right of me does it?
Is the one to the flanking one was above you?
The heavily injured one, the one to the right.
Oh, yes, yeah. So that's a very good point. I can see why you're asking that. So let me just get up that.
Oh, notice that Nightshade is now watching.
Yeah, that shade is here.
Ah, but is he?
I
Hello. Yay! Excellent. Good. All right. So don't worry, we're doing we're wrapping this up, and then we'll move over to the other areas. So this actually worked out pretty well. So thrusting forward with their spears. So first of all, the top one just about deflected by Buruk's chain metal armor. The second one, who's the injured guy directly in front of him, thrusts forward, and Buruk's easily able to slap aside the spear points with his long sword. I assume you've got something in mind.
Yeah, and not only slap down his spear down, but I will continue with a riposte against that, just to make sure that there's not much else coming from this particular guy. Let's do this. It's going to be a 15 to hit for a total of 12 slashing damage against that guy.
So Buruk, he's just there's this guardsman's pretty wounded. He's already after that savage thrust from the longsword. Is just blood just pouring down his front, and he just tries to thrust forward with his spear, and Buruk's easily able to just slap it aside of his longsword, and he just spins it around.
I slam it down, and basically with that same motion, I would almost step on that spear just to make sure that guy is a bit off balance, and using that moment of his distraction, just thrust at him. It goes in, blood goes out.
What goes in?
Sword goes in, blood comes out. So does some organs. And the guy he's just impaled on his sword and just collapses to his knees. And actually, as he flops backward, that takes him off the sword point, dead on the ground. Another guardsman bites the dust. And again, they don't look quite as concerned about this one as they were about the Blackguard, but they're looking pretty worried about it. It's still concerning. The other ones are all moving in, trying to stab at Buruk. Only one of them's actually able to get past his guard with a nat 20. And roll up the damage.
So I am imagining that I'm able to deflect a couple of those hits with the sword, a couple of them are just missing due to the whole crowding thing. Really, it's not that easy to squeeze past and to go back. Don't like
True.
that, Linda.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
they're sort of getting in each other's ways. Not really enough room to like swing around those spears, and you know it's a difficult situation to be in. And this hobgoblin fighter, when he's not deflecting with his chain metal arm, he's deflecting with the long sword or just moving out of the way of these blows. And it's just over and over again until finally one of them is able to score a lucky hit upon him. And the spear-
so I was trying to deflect a couple of the strikes with, just almost turning with the thick side of the armor. Interesting. I mean, so far it's been through everything without a hitch. And yeah, apparently one of those pieces of armor was faulty, as the spear sinks quite deep into my side.
you'll be happy.
That's why I don't like armor or weapons. Because they always fail.
Yep.
And
Just don't use armor or weapons. Easy.
I'll I mean, you can see
Biped.
you can see that I've actually rolled that damage roll in in your channel instead of my channel. As you can see, it was exactly 8 damage. Unfortunately, that was your health. So Burke
My health.
takes him in the shoulder, and you can see he sort of wavers for a moment, trying to hold his feet as best he can, and it just crumples to the ground.
No.
It's unfortunate.
Yes, so much for me saying I can hold on for this turn.
I wasn't gonna say it.
So Burke is downed. There's 2 guardsmen left. And they start marching forwards over the various bodies. And that is actually a problem. Only one of them is able to get to Lyroon because it's a double movement to move over their bodies. So it uses up all of their 30 movement to stab, and then they're stuck in front of him. Let's see what happens when someone tries to stab Lyroon.
I love that
Oh.
gif.
Oh, did Rhythm just die?
Yeah, Rhythm just died.
Did the
Yeah,
music just start?
It just died for
Yep.
no reason.
This is gone. Poof.
Uninstalled. Gone from the
We'll
server.
check
No.
out the bot.
Hang on.
Clearly some subpar DMing here.
I mean, Rhythm. Yeah, subpar
Hey
rhythming.
Rhythm is completely offline at the moment. So
Yeah,
nothing's gonna work.
I think Rhythm's crashed. That's all right. I'll sing.
Bummer.
So.
No, God,
All
no.
right. What part of your ideas means that this is all right?
So one guardsman sort of carries himself across the various dead bodies or dying bodies until he gets to Lyroon, thrusts forward with his spear. Lyroon is ready for it, just slaps aside the spear and just gouges across the ground. Another line in the woodwork, but he's still on his feet, unlike Burke. And that is the end.
You had to say it.
Unlike Burke. Yeah, so that is the end of the guardsman turn. So this brings you to round 9. So you only got to survive one more round, this round, effectively. And then Danto's poetry takes effect.
My poetry.
So there is a living
poetry.
guard in between me and Baruch, yes?
Yeah, exactly. Let me just update the map to that effect. It would in fact be this
And what is his name?
one. He is called Dennis.
Dennis.
Dennis is a terrible name.
Oh, wow.
There's going to
We
be
have-
Charlie and Mac next.
I sincerely apologize to everyone in the stream named Dennis.
I
You are
do
not
not
welcome.
apologize to everyone in the stream named Dennis. You
Oh.
know what you did.
All 0.1 of them.
Existed.
But like, just keep in mind that he's named Dennis, but the T is silent.
Ah!
Where? Where's the T?
Which T?
It's
There's more than
silent.
one.
Exactly. Which
Yeah,
one?
there's both of
All
them.
of the T's are silent. It's a tennis T. Okay, so.
Obviously, Potts has very good dental hygiene and doesn't get it.
Oh, dentist.
Dentist?
When you say it, you're ruining it.
No, I mean, that wasn't what I had in
What?
mind.
Look,
I
look,
thought it
look.
was a joke on how there are way too many silent letters.
You know what? Let's carry on.
Flair,
Let's
Flair,
move forward.
Flair. Jokes are a lot like frogs in science class. When you dissect them, you find out a lot about them, but you kill the frog.
Yeah.
But that was my doing. All right, so Lyroon and Nanto, you just watch Buruk be overwhelmed by this staccato series of spear thrusts and greatsword strikes across him. One guard stepped forward over his body, his bleeding out body, to thrust at Lyroon. He's just been able to slap aside the spear points. What do you do?
Question. You cannot move through a occupied space from a hostile creature, right?
Yeah,
So if he was
exactly.
incapacitated, it wouldn't be a problem, yeah?
Yeah, if you can stun him
Yeah.
or kill him or whatever, no worries.
Yeah. No, I have 1 key point left. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, you probably want to use that to heal.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Although potentially Nanto is able to do something. I don't know.
I have healing word.
Are you
Yeah.
able to do that during your poetry slam?
It could be part of it. But the poetry slam requires his action. Healing word's a bonus action, so it works.
Okay.
So the thing that it costs for us is letting the painting go up.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, Nanto wants to stand on the painting.
You can certainly try.
Can I stand on the painting?
You certainly can.
Well, then we
but then
didn't we established that last session that he uses telekinesis as well.
Yeah.
So that's 1,000. That's at least 1,000 pounds that it can lift.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
feel like he could just flip me right off of him.
We'll see. I mean, it's a
think-
painting, so some slightly different rules, but yeah.
If Nanto got flipped,
Powerful
would
painting.
he lose his concentration and have to start all over again?
He that might be a roll, but
It's just his action. It's just
So
his
what are you
performance.
doing?
Yeah. What happens?
So the painting is up, right? I assume.
No, it's you slapped it down most recently, but next turn. Oh, wait, no,
okay.
sorry. Yeah, it's currently up, right? Yeah, it's at this point you usually slap it down.
Yeah, he would have gone up. But Baruch is down. So wait, Lyroon, you can get Baruch up, right?
No, I cannot reach him.
There's a guard in the
My
way.
arms are not 10 feet long. I am not a bugbear.
So if we leave the painting up, we're
It's either both of us up or both of us down. Pick one.
Yeah.
all right. I'm gonna healing word Baruch.
Okay. So
we're just gonna have to chance the painting.
got a chance it.
That
Okay.
painting ain't got nothing. Nothing on you guys.
So yeah. Nanto, what words do you use to heal Burke? Do you incorporate it into your poetry?
Oh, I'll just look and be like, "Oh, come on, Baruch, don't miss the finale."
The healing ones.
And
I'm always partial to he lives.
those are the healing words.
It's alive.
It's alive.
But yeah, as Spots does that, there's sort of a pained groan coming from the collapsed body, and you're not sure whether it's just the whole shock, blood loss, or everything, or the resignation that he will have to hear the rest of the poem.
Ugh, I hate poetry.
Okay, so with those words, Burke, that final spear thrust that had been dealt to him just knits over it enough of the blood sort of glooping back into his body. He starts able to get back to his feet, or rather, he's currently laying down, but presumably you'll start getting yourself back to your feet.
I'm sorry to interrupt with the blood coming back to my body and all. Has Burke recently had a tetanus shot?
What?
Do tetanus shots exist?
Definitely not. But hobgoblins.
The shot of greater tetanus.
Your action, you're carrying on doing poetry, Nanto. Let's have some poetry.
And through the winds do the birds whisper, and the words we hear are all around us.
Lovely. So there we go.
Stunning.
And with that, I have been able to summon forth a secondary music bot.
What?
So hopefully this works. No, it's just Rhythm aggressively taking control.
Wonderful.
All right.
That's why
Well,
on my servers, all these bots are just under a flag called Skynet.
Makes
well, if
sense.
someone's able to get Groovy to work, that will give us music. But yeah, so Burke takes to his feet. While Burke's getting up, Lyrene, what are you doing?
Oh, guard and punch in front of me. Gonna punch him. Like
Punch him real
like-
good.
definitely. I'm gonna get like 2 nat crits in a row. It's gonna be great.
Definitely gonna happen.
That's what's gonna happen.
Look, I called dibs.
Shotgun.
That
That's not a
definitely
crit,
hits.
and that's not a lot of damage. That's not a crit either. Avery, we talked about this.
We talked about this. Come on.
Cool. I imagine he is not downed yet.
Oh,
Oh God! Oh,
Jesus.
wow!
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay.
That's Groovy.
Oh, that was
You're-
loud.
You're down to
No.
30%, maybe 20.
People of the Twitch chat, let us know if the music can be heard.
I just know that I have that bot at 5% from another server.
Yeah, I already had it at a sensible volume, I'm afraid. Apologies for that. There you go. Now we have.
Sensible volume is 100%. There's something wrong with Groovy.
It's not being heard on the chat still, though. On the Twitch chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
I would check, but then you'd have to hear it coming through my phone, and that would be really annoying.
no, that's super annoying for everyone. Please
Oh, I
do not
can
do
hear
that.
it. I can hear it
On-
fine.
Yeah, we can all hear it,
so
but the
very
Twitch folks
difficult.
can't hear it. That's interesting. Anyway, so Lyrene, you were doing 2 punches. So
Right.
23 and 20 to hit, 6 damage and 8 damage. So yeah, wham wham, 2 rapid punches to this guy who's just turning around to see Brooke like impossibly rising to a knee after being laid low, and he's just like, and he's just wham wham to the back of his head, and he's just rocking from the blows, looking rather unsteady on his feet, but he's stood up.
Cool. Bonus action, punch him one more time without using key points.
Okay.
Lethally, right?
Non-lethally, of course. That's actually a miss, which is the most non-lethal of all attacks.
Is 11 a miss?
I'm pretty sure their AC is 13 or 14.
Yeah, that's 11's unfortunately a miss. So yeah, just another punch coming forward, just slamming and just slaps across the leather armors across his back. No effect, unfortunately. Anything else from Lyrene?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, so
Does Baruch get an action?
indeed,
Or-
so that brings us to Baruch. So he's just rising to his knee, having been laid low.
After the groan, I would be slowly standing up and just looking around everyone, just staring at everyone and making sure I get a good bead on them, just to see if anyone's ready to run. Is there any of them that looks a touch more cowardly than the others?
Well, certainly the one between you. I forgot actually. No, yeah. Sorry, Lyrene, you would have had +1 to that attack as a flanking, but still, no, that wouldn't have hit. But yeah, the one between you and Lyrene looks a bit concerned now that he's between 2 combatants. The one.
That's a shame because he doesn't have a way to run away.
Otherwise, I mean, they're feeling somewhat confident after being able to knock you down, even if you are getting back up.
That's unfortunate. First of all, that's very unfortunate for the garden between us two.
How unfortunate for the guard.
Yep, I was kind of hoping that Lyrune would knock him out. As a
So was
player.
I.
Yeah, but as it stands, I think he's going down the hard way. That's going to be 23 to hit for 10 slashing.
Take him down!
Yep. As I'm standing up, just looking at everyone, they take the sword, lift it, and swing it basically underarm into that guy, just straight through his back, unfortunately.
Yeah, oh, he was like turning around to face you, and he just gets this long sword to the front after just getting smacked twice to the back of the head. It's not a great situation to find himself in, it must be said.
Oh.
So that's 10 damage. He is. What's that? Hang on. He's just about still on his feet. He's like sort of wavering. His lower jaw wobbling in fear for his life, particularly after Buruk's got this long sword and just stabbing him up with it.
The nerve of that guy. You know what? I'm going to strike you once more with the pommel just to get the right side.
Okay, so non-lethal.
Yes. No, not because I intend not to kill him, but just come on. You're almost dead as it is. We just need to help you a little.
You just need a little help.
Yeah, it's
This is an altruistic thing, okay?
So out of your misery.
yeah. Let's see whether I'm able to. And that's going to be a 17 to hit, which is enough to basically dislodge that jaw, I'm afraid.
Yeah, exactly. The jaw's like wobbling. You're just like, just like there's blood trickling down him. He's like already stars in his eyes, and you just wham! The pommel just cracked across his temple, and the eyes just roll upwards, and he just flops into the door frame and just sort of slowly slides down it. It's like a pool of drool left behind him across it. A couple of scratches from the various daggers and spear points that are still embedded in the door frame from when they're all hurled your way, left in their wake, and he's down.
Hey,
Nice.
and now I
You
need
kick
opinion
Rhythm
from
out,
the.
please.
Say
Kick
what?
Rhythm out. Or was it
Yeah, we've got
conflicting?
two bots now.
Yeah, there's
We've
just
got
2
double
music
bots.
bots now.
Double bot.
And they're harmonizing.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
But yeah, now I need opinion from the audience. Do I try and step back to the rune? It's one attack of opportunity for that.
It's up to you. You got one more. You got to last one more round.
I'm gonna try it. I really don't like the flanking from the Blackguard. So I will be stepping 5 foot forward, right where that unconscious guy stood a moment ago.
Okay.
I think we are trampling 2 bodies now by now.
Mhm.
Give us a couple more and we'll build the wall.
So having taken out the guy behind him, Buruk just steps onto his body, and one of the regular guards tries to thrust forward with his spear, and he just scrapes ineffectually across his armor, no problem.
Yeah, so with that guy dealt with, stepping back, basically ignoring that strike to my back, I would just turn again and towards the remainder of the guards, slightly swaying, not exactly in the best shape.
Sorry, do you want to step 5 foot back, or do you want to step 10 foot back?
I
Sorry, 15.
If I step 15, I have a lot of pain coming my way.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's all the more attacks of opportunity start happening, including from the Blackguard. So I assume that ends your turn.
It does.
Okay. So it brings us to the last of the guard's turn before Nanto's poetry takes effect. Let's see what happens.
On.
For Nanto's poetry to attempt to take effect.
Stop.
Yeah, can you imagine after all this? Like, it doesn't work.
They make 3 saves. Oh, I would be quite upsetty if that happened.
Oh, I'm already foreseeing it happening. I'm already upset.
I'm already mad.
Yeah.
Okay. So the guards start to move forward. It's trampling over the various unconscious comrades, or dead comrades in some cases. The Blackguard. Sorry, Irene?
Sorry. Can you actually differentiate between how many guards are dead and how many are alive? It's on the map.
I think there are 3 or 4 down, but they're all on top of the people.
Yeah, they're sort of this stack of unconscious or dead bodies. It's about 4, I think, that are dead or down. Still more alive than not.
That's what we care about. More alive than dead. Yep.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So they start moving forward until they form like a line, almost like a phalanx in front of you. The Blackguard readies his greatsword. And as always, it's this initial sweep. Burke's ready for it, just gets his longsword out and just smacks it aside, and it just hits into the grain of the woodwork as the second sweep. And it just thrusts into, he sweeps forward, it just carves into Burke's chest, cleaving straight through the heavy chainmetal armor. And
There's not a lot of that chain armor left by now, frankly.
No, it's just sort of flimsy ringlets. Let's just see what it does.
Does it do at least 5 damage? That's the question, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or it does.
I don't think it can do less than that.
Yeah, unfortunately it does 10 damage, so you just cleaves through, and it's just once again the Hobgoblin fighter is laid low, just sort of holds, it tries to hold his internal organs in and just flops forward onto the ground, once more unconscious.
God, what? You should have slept earlier. This is terrible behavior.
And then the other
You can't
guardsmen,
take a nap in the middle of combat.
start moving forward with their spirit points held ready, and they start. One moves forward towards Lyroon, thrusts forward, no effect. Lyroon's easily able to just smack it aside. He's going to pull back. Lyroon, what do you do? So you got an attack of opportunity, basically, if you want.
I mean, what I want to do is to reaction punch him, but then miss and healing punch Baruch. But no, yeah, I'll just punch him.
Okay.
Reaction unarmored strike. That's not a hit.
That is unfortunately not. Just about not.
So Lyroon, too devastated by seeing his compatriot fall again, just whiffs a haymaker.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no L in haymaker.
Hailmaker. We're making snow out.
So it's just a bit too daunting, having watched this mighty Hobgoblin just being laid low once more, and just whips around with his foot through the air. But the guardsman's ready for it and just brings up his spear and just whacks it aside as he steps backwards, and the other ones start moving in. Thrust, miss, move back, moves in, thrust. This time actually is able to thrust into Lyroon's left pec. He's just scoring straight across the nipple. It's made a cruel damage across it. That would be 6 damage. So yeah, just thrusting into your chest, and you just yank it free, and he's like smiles victoriously and pulls back, ready to make space for the next guard moving forward. And again, they're just cycling through their numbers.
Never. How rude.
This isn't worrying at all.
One more moves forward, thrusts. Lyroon once again is just ready for it, snaps it aside, and again, this monk's just slapping aside spears coming towards him, just blood running down his clothing, more of it stained red than not at this point. One more spear does manage to slip through past his guards, unfortunately. Scary stuff.
Not good.
It's a whopping 3 damage though. So you just thrust forward into his thigh, and it's just a shallow gouge across it. You're able to just wrench away to avoid worse of the blow, but still the wounds are gathering. And that's the end of the guards. Now
That's the end of the guards. The guards are all gone. End of the guards. He said it, not us.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
saying.
exactly. End of the whole attack because they're
End
dead
of all
now.
guards.
And now it's time for the Guardian painting.
Well, that painting can.
Well, good news, Baruch. You can't be affected because you're dead.
Not dead, merely unconscious.
Silver
Again.
linings.
So Lyroon, give me a
That's
wisdom
me.
save.
Is it a charm effect?
Yes, so you do have advantage.
I love having advantage.
Now, don't you try getting charmed now.
That doesn't look like a pass.
Ugh.
Actually, it's DC 12.
Oh my god!
So it's narrowly past. So yeah, there's just a glimmer of light starts to appear around Lyroon's head, and you see his almost like fawn-like shapes start appearing, and then it just sort of wavers, and Lyroon just blinks. In effect, there's a slight compulsion to harm his friends for a moment, but then it's gone as fast as it came. No effect. And the painting just goes, well, that doesn't normally happen. That's rather rude of you, really.
Oh, I swear.
Wait, that's supposed to work.
Right, Nanto, it's time for the crescendo to your poem.
Oh, is it complete?
It is complete. It is round 10.
Yeah.
You've actually managed to last a minute. Well, more or less, most of you managed to last a minute.
More or less, except for the
More
Baroque, the
or
dead
less.
guy.
Acceptable losses.
Yeah. So,
Baroque's death is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
so you got the painting behind you. You've got the guardsman in front of you. You've reached the end of your poem. It's
And
your.
there is a blackguard left, right?
There is one.
Yes.
just look
I
out.
would like to select the 2 closest ones to Lyroon.
Yeah.
And the blackguard.
Cool. So it's like those 3 in like a line. Okay.
Yep.
And
And
it's.
now you make all your saves, and we just wasted 10 rounds.
Yep, it's gonna be great.
This is the enthralling performance bard feature. So it's if you perform for a minute, people within 60 feet of you they can become entranced. It's your what's the DC?
Let me bring that up.
19.
Yeah, 40.
2 minutes.
Last I checked, I think it was 40. I mean, that's
No,
kinda,
you went up a level. It's now up to 42.
Right, it's 42.
Oh, yeah.
We went up by 2 right there.
Are
so,
you
yeah.
for real? It looks like a 8, but it's sideways though.
It's,
Yes, that makes
it's
more sense.
14, so it's my spell save DC.
Okay. And before your eyes, the one directly in front of Lyroon, who's been listening to his poetry. What's the final line of your poetry?
And it would probably be, and those whispers that we heard move around us, through us, and with us.
And there's just this, the almost nonsensical words that have been erupting from the Warforged bard, very much his style, and you can just see his head starts to tilt, and he's just like jaw starting to swing open, and he can't help himself. He just lays his spear point to his side, and just starts clapping. The man behind him does exactly the same. The blackguard to his side, he just stares for a moment, looking at those 2, looking confused, and then he just listens thinks back on those words, and just gives a singular nod. I see what you mean. And raises his greatsword and flips in his grip and just stabs it into the sofa.
Oh!
Turns to the guardsman behind him. No more. There's too much beauty here. And the other guardsmen are just looking at each other like absolutely baffled. But then, it's a blackguard telling them to cease. And they all lay down their arms and start backing out. And Johnny is just like, I told you guys, they're just it's utterly above board. The painting, however, is not so convinced. The painting is still pissed and doesn't seem to be paying attention to the Blackguard's orders. Lyroon.
Just pour some paint thinner on him and be done with this.
So it looks like the guards are all stepping down. The painting's not. What do you do, Lyroon?
Cool beans. Let me look at some more. I just like my beans to be just ice cold.
You take out a pot of beans, throw it on the painting.
I like my beans like I like my revenge, served cold.
And salty.
There's more than one bard here.
Salty beans. It's gonna be the name of the episode, Salty Beans.
I mean, the last 2 are going to be Poetry Slam, so... Poetry Slam?
I have the same one for each.
Tell you what, while you consider Lyroon, I'll take my lube right now while you think about it.
You already gave me one. Jeez. Does he not listen?
I cannot believe that actually worked as well as it did. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No, when the blackguard said there's too much beauty here, that broke me.
There's too much beauty.
I really love that phrase
With,
with
like,
one condition.
The suave British accent. Perfect.
Honestly, I'm
My
glad
biggest
that
problem
worked.
with that is it's only Flash had paintings around. Where did he find the beauty? I'm not certain.
So
Be
you
fair,
guys are
like-
gonna destroy the painting and move on, right?
Oh,
Well,
definitely.
Please.
originally, Lyroon wasn't gonna destroy the painting because, destruction of property and, murdering people.
Yeah.
Don't you shilly No.
So whose turn is it?
It is Lyroon's turn.
We're just waiting for
DM.
Sam to get back from the loo.
Oh.
But she's right here. I can't resist.
We've never had anyone be like, haha, you're the same person. Ha, you're the same person.
They've never been told that before in their entire lives.
It's
say
amazing
that, but-
how creative I am.
Never heard that one before.
Okay. But for real, one of the guys in Search and Rescue is named Alex, who married a woman named Alexia. Their last name is Alexovich, and they adopted a dog.
No,
Named Alex.
I kid you not, the dog was already named Alex. They didn't even have any
Stop.
choice in the matter. It's 3 Alexes whose last name is also Alex. It's great.
No.
I have photos, I swear.
I mean, I've been saying
illegal.
to Sammy that we should definitely name our kid Sam as well.
Right?
Oh my
Just name them Samwise. Make it a set.
Because when you call for dinner, you just go Sam, and everyone comes running. It would be great.
You joke, but when the wife says, Alex, both the man and dog, stop.
I mean, I think. Oh, actually, he's not in his chair. He's in his box. But he does somewhat respond to Mr. Kitty. He doesn't respond to Tiberius, our cat. So, Lyroon, what were you going to do?
Cool. So the guard that is to my left, and by left I mean right, because whatever, is currently charmed and is not aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Very
Cool.
specifically, the one in front of you, the one next to him, and the black guards, sort of in a shape, are
Sure.
all laying down
I'm
arms.
going to run over to that painting and I'm going to punch it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll some punches.
I'm going to punch it at least 3 times.
At least.
I'm going for 6 or 7 times because I got an action surge that I haven't told anyone about yet.
Thank you.
No problem, sir.
That's my secret. I have action surge. I just didn't tell anyone. Not even the DM.
Does a 13 hit the painting?
Oh, good question, actually. This is the first time anyone shot. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The AC is 5.
Oh, good. I cannot miss.
Just for criticals then.
Yeah, it's only if you nat 1 that you miss. I mean, it's a painting. Yeah. So.
A painting that's
Not
on
in
the
that
floor.
one.
No, it's floating in the air at the minute because it telekineses itself back upright.
Oh, okay, alright, I like it.
Yeah. So 8-7. It's still just about alive. Let's have that third attack. Yeah, that hits. Maths need to do 16 plus 8. 24. Yeah. So Lyron, how do you want to do this?
Cool.
Hey.
So, I want to be silly, and I want to running leap through the painting.
Yeah. Specifically, what I've got in mind is it's 2 fists and 1 leg. That's how you do your 3 attacks.
I was. Yeah. No. Yeah, that's good. I like it.
No, yeah.
So it just lifts itself, just levitates upright. Like, oh, that normally works. And then Lyroon, just as soon as he sees the guards all charmed, just turns around, starts running back down the stairs, running along the banister to get around Nanto, launches forward through the air. 2 fists and a leg held out before him, just punch kicks his way straight through the painting, tears straight through it, comes out the other side, rolls across the ground, springs to his feet.
And then
dead.
leaps through the painting again, runs over to Baruch, and I use healing. Not healing. Whatever. I use
Healing punch.
Hand of healing.
Your last key point.
No, the last key point was for the flurry of blows.
Right, but yeah, you can replace one. Yeah,
Right,
because
right,
of your
right.
path of mercy.
Um,
So yes, just runs forward, punches his way through the paintings, and then leaps back through it just as it's descending back towards the ground. The telekinesis ceasing, just leaps back through it as it hits the deck just as it hits the ground, thump, thump, and then just starts thundering his way back up the banisters over to Burrick's side, and just wham, it is actually more of a punch. It is.
Not a wham. No, I don't.
Wham.
I carefully, palm, because I imagine he fell backwards, so
Yeah.
his head is closer to me. So I palm the key point that's at the sternum. That bwam, and there's that wow healing.
Yeah. So you just.
It makes that sound.
So you drop down and you're skidding beside his side and you just slap a hand to his sternum and just and then this key points,
Very good.
his key energy harness, and just that last spear point injury just heals over just enough, and yeah, he's looking in a pretty sorry state. Normally he's red from his skin, but now he's red from the vast amount of blood covering him, but he does blink awake.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
and-
sorry. And by hand of healing, I actually meant hand of harm. I wanted to do 6 damage to him.
Just finish him off.
Yeah,
Finish him off.
I take it that was for the arena, which is fair enough. So as I once again blinking into consciousness, not the first time in this last minute, I would first things first, just almost barely able to speak, just get off me, as I shove the person standing right on me at the moment.
And the guardsman is genuinely apologetic. Oh yes, sorry, and just starts like stepping backwards, and they all start like peeling back. Some of them a bit more encouraged than others. So they're 3 that are charmed in particular are like very deferential, as they almost consider you as fellow band members to Nanto, and they've become what is essentially groupies. Meanwhile, the others
Could
will.
you make those groupies pink or something?
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
Black can be a dark pink, and the others can be baby pink.
Yeah, he's the man pink.
I'm the man.
Unfortunately, because I'm on PowerPoint, the best I can do is orange and blue, but hopefully that gives you the idea.
Shit.
Why don't you do them green like the other guy?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I could do those 2 green actually. I want the black guard to be differentiated though, because he's in charge. The green and blue. So then they start peeling back, moving out of the way. Burrick's able to then finally breathe in a bit easier because there's not a guard standing on top of his chest, but also because he's not bleeding out everywhere, just mostly, and start to get back to his feet. And they start making way for you.
Of the surfaces.
And you managed to hold the door. You did it.
Yes!
Somehow.
Our crazy plan has worked.
Yeah, it's like 12 on 1.
I don't
12
think
and 3.
it was our crazy plan more that Nanto went rogue.
We
and everyone-
all contributed, and I'm really glad we all decided to do this together.
And,
No.
and
And now it
this,
is our crazy plan.
and this wasn't our plan. This was our failure plan. The plan was to get Will.
Yeah. Speaking.
What a
Very-
wonderful
very
plan
well-
it was that we all
was-
decided.
This was this
Speaking
was
of Will-
Naruto failing forward.
Speaking of which, speaking of Will,
We're on our new adventure downstairs. In the
exactly.
silent
So
jungle.
meanwhile, while all of this plays out upstairs, downstairs, there's a much less, equally dramatic, and equally tense, but perhaps slightly less dangerous scene playing out. It's hard to say. Now I need, because I'm using Groovy. Hang on, let me just stop it. Stop.
Similar music.
No. I've got just the right thing for this. Exactly. Meanwhile, downstairs, Ravenous and Halla. Sorry, both of you had to wait a little. Well, an hour and a bit. But it makes much more sense to do it in blocks like this. So meanwhile, downstairs, you can't hear any of this. The moment you went down these steps, is just a wall of sound cancellation. Halla had just not very peacefully taken out one of the guardsmen. That savaged him, just tied him up, and then just kept cracking his head into the stone staircase until he stopped moving, and potentially going shh repeatedly. Just to catch you up on what's down here, there's in the bottom right corner of the map, there's a lone prisoner, somewhat noble-looking gentleman who seems to be complaining. He'd seen, I think he'd seen Halla.
No,
Oh, no.
Hala threw a dart to distract him at the stairs.
No, sorry, the
No.
prisoner. The prisoner, I think, had seen one of you. I think it might have been Raven. One of you, and you went shh. Yeah.
The prisoner
Definitely Hala.
seen me.
Yeah, you saw
The prisoner
Halla,
seen
and
me, no one else.
yeah, and then Halla went shh to him, and he just started trying to unconvincingly seem like nothing was amiss. And the guardsman came over and basically told him to shut up, and that's when Halla threw his distraction dart, and you guys lured him over and took him out. So Ravnus had just been prowling forwards along the ceiling using her slippers of spider climbing. And you've managed to see there's a couple of those scary looking black guards down here at this dining table, and one regular guard. You've taken out a regular guard. While you're moving around, you don't hear anything, but you feel a certain slight vibration from through the stones of this dungeon, as if somewhere distantly an explosion had gone off. What do you do?
Hala. Well, other than Hala, I don't think Ravenous would have any idea what the heck that means. Other than maybe hurry.
I think ultimately though, like if we go timing wise, that explosion is probably like at least a couple turns out though, from us, right?
No, it's the end of their first turn of combat, so it's basically 5 seconds into this. So yeah, I think about now. But yeah, what do you do?
Whose turn is? Are we still doing turn orders, or are we just
block? Just block. Yeah, you're not in combat or anything, so both of you can just act as you wish.
So I think I had communicated telepathically who was in that room. So 2 big uns, 1 little, and that's kind of what I'd said to Hala.
Can Ravenous see the other person, the prisoner?
Yeah, from where Ravenous is currently, actually, you can see each other.
That is on retreat. I'd originally gone just to the edge to see the entirety of that room.
Yeah, so you poked your head in and sort of just looked in and scoped this out. The other guy would have seen you as you were doing that, and it's just this blue-skinned tiefling in sort of nice clothes, but also slightly dirty, and then just skitters back across the ceiling. He's like looking a bit like concerned and disconcerted, but just rolling with it. He's in prison anyway. It's not like he's got much of a say in what's going on. There's also these 2 animated armor guards standing either side of you guys, but they don't seem to be particularly bothered because you spoke the password repeatedly while you smushed this guy's face into the ground repeatedly.
His face was smushed.
Very smushed.
Okay. Could I begin by trying to lockpick the door?
Well, I was about to say you may want to at least telepathy him so that he's at least keyed in on whatever plan we're trying to do.
Who as in the prisoner?
Yep.
Okay, so good point. So I'll telekinesis the prisoner and be like,
telepathy. Telekinesis, just pull him towards the gate.
yeah, telekinesis him out of there. So I'll let him know. Look, we'll get you out. We just don't want to get caught. We'll be back. And then I will try and pick that door. So what do you want me to roll?
Well, I do also have the keys, but I haven't gotten them to you yet.
Oh yeah, I don't know that you have the keys. I'm gonna just use my wonderful skills.
Go for it.
Is it dexterity check?
Dexterity plus proficiency. So you just give me a dex check, and then I'll add on your proficiency, and we'll see how you do.
And that one.
Ooh. So Ravenous just starts making her way down the ceiling, takes out the metal rods, and she's had a decent amount of experience picking locks. She's broken into quite a few places in her time, but after hanging out with the strangers, you didn't get much practice with it lately, mainly because they're not particularly approving of such activities, and so you're a bit out of practice. You know, it's been a couple of times recently, but you jam that in, you start, and then it's just a snap, this loud metallic ring that echoes through this prison-style dungeon. Your lockpick is snapped.
Jangling keys wouldn't have been any better. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and there's just this, the actual metal pin has snapped inside the lock. What was that? And you can hear guard. You can hear one of the guards' voices. You can't tell which one, but one of the guards' voices ring out. What was that? What do you do?
I look over to Hala with my eyes like. And then I look at her inquisitively and go. In my mind, obviously, I go. Hunger of Hadar.
What else can we get at this point?
Just the only option, surely.
I mean, they're going to be coming out. I don't really have any other options at this point. It's nuclear option.
Cool, nuclear's great for me. So, Ravenous goes back to the open area closest to her. Just two hands out in front of her. Milky white tentacles erupt from her fingertips and zoom outwards and then slide in together, creating a vroom effect for Hunger of Hadar.
Okay, where do you want this placed?
Right in the damn center of that room. Right between all of them. Basically centering on that table.
Okay, so let me just check Hunger of Hadar. I think you have to be able to see.
That's why I said that I go to the open area.
Okay, so yeah, you prowl. So you hear a guardsman like, what was that? And then you just immediately like, Hunger of Hadar? Okay, yeah. And then you start prowling along the ceiling, poke your head through the doorway, these two southern areas, they're just like open grates almost, so you're able to easily see through, and then the milky white tentacles are loosed, and just these milky white tentacles erupting, this soft whispering, this terrifying void of darkness erupting over the table. Roll for initiative. This is not quite how I expected this to go.
I have keys, but apparently lockpicking. Why not?
It's far more exciting.
A natural reaction to a locked door. You can't help it.
Ravenous didn't know you had keys, and she's seen that.
It's true.
The only door to go to at this point.
It's true non-meta play, and you know, this prisoner who's watching all of this take place is just like looks aghast at just what happened as well. Just like snap, and he's like, and then just milky white tentacles, this explosion of darkness that just happens, and you can hear all the guardsmen inside like start crying out, "What's going on?" Genuine
whispering, slurping noises.
What's that wrapping around my ankle?
I can't seem to find initiative rolls. What do I roll? Just a 20.
It's a button plus your dex.
For your initiative, it's if you look on D&D Beyond, it's if you go from the top left corner where it's like strength, dex, reach proficiency, and then just beneath that. And then I'm just going to change the playlist because it's no longer sneaky time. It almost immediately became not sneaky time.
Cool, I got 30. Just rolled
it is not sneaky time at all.
Okay, so you rolled a d20. I think you've got... I don't think your initiative is just +0.
Oh, top. I've got +3 initiative.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's plus their dex, so...
Yeah, so 16 initiative is what you get, Ravenous.
Nice.
Yep.
What does Hala get?
I also got 16.
Oh, cool.
Gets disappointed.
Well, so we're back to stat. We're block initiative. That's all good. Okay, so you guys get to go first. What do you do?
I mean,
run away.
There's not a huge amount we can. I mean, I guess I could throw in some Eldritch Blast.
I mean, if the lockpick is broken in there, I can no longer use the key, right?
Is there any way I
Um,
can use my turn while they're confused to try and get the thing out of the lock?
You can certainly try.
What would that be? Not sleight of hand,
Dexterity check.
dexterity.
Come on. I'll allow sleight of hand.
Oh, well, I already rolled dexterity.
Oh, well, I can just add on your proficiency, that's fine.
My sleight of hand is +6.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that brings you up to a 15. So yeah, there's this metal pin stuck inside that's been snapped off. You just pull it out, no worries. You've been able to retrieve the broken lockpick from inside.
Pointy nails.
Yeah, any movement?
Movement-wise, I guess I'm gonna move to the opening area because actually, is the cell door for this dude the first gap or the second longer gap?
Sorry, so you mean this bit?
Yeah, no. So the guy that's in the cell, there's 2 gaps. There's a small one and there's a larger one, which is the door.
Yeah, so the smaller one's the door, the longer one's more like an open grate for the guards to be able to see in.
Okay, am I able, do I have a chance to try and lockpick the door to get him to be an ally?
It's kind of your action to be like retrieving this, but you can certainly move over that way to get ready. A lot of guards obviously will have, well, actually they're all trapped inside Hunger of Hadar, which I need to stick on the map actually. But yeah, you can certainly move over and get ready for that.
Cool. I'll move over to the door to where the lock is.
Cool, okay. What about you, Hala? What are you doing?
Sorry, Hala.
I will run over to the other guy's gate and try to get it open with the keys.
Okay, so that requires no check or anything. You've got the actual keys, so you can just run over and there's a slight jingle.
Not that matters at this stage.
That's a free action as well. It doesn't require anything. It's just stick keys in, twist. The door is open, so Hala just runs south, gets the door open to the prison cell. What do you do? The prisoner inside is looking a bit confused, and he's like, "Oh, well, that was sooner than I expected."
Have you seen Will?
Who's Will? There's only one other male prisoner I've seen, and that's Tobias, my assistant.
Damn it! Just go over there and take the sleeping god's weapons and get ready for a fight.
For your context, Will, you would know is a woman, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But so he takes off, trooping out of the room, towards the guardsman that you guys are taking out, and starts scooping up his weapons. He looks, the way he picks them up, yeah, he seems to know what he's doing. It takes his full action to dash over there because it's a fair way out of his prison cell. But yeah, he picks him up and he seems to be, yes, all right, and he's got the sword in hand. Yes, well, it'd be good to take a bit of vengeance on these fools. Anything else, Hala? You still got your action.
I'll ready action. Unbroken air. Fist of Unbroken Air, it'll be just for reference, a DC 14 strength check, or if they fail, they take. Let me just read it. On a fail save, the creature takes 3d10 plus any blah, and you spend the push. Yeah. If they pass it, they take half damage. If they fail, it will be 3d10. And it will be knocked back 20 feet. So in case anyone tries to get out through the door, I'm knocking them right back in.
Okay. So just going to be working out a direction these guys are moving. We'll see exactly what happens. So
also, you didn't move me when I said I was moving to the prisoner's door.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So me and Hala are actually next to each other at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her like, girl, I was going to do that. You keys.
Not like you gave me a chance.
Okay. So that brings us to what would have...
Rhythm's back.
Yeah, I know.
It's going in and out.
It's Groovy that went. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it's Riven that went. And for a while, Flair was pointing out, they're sort of arguing over each other, and both were playing at the same time, which was very horrible. But because I'm a bit deaf, I didn't even notice. So now I get to the fun of determining the directions that everyone's going to move inside this darkness. So yeah, they start calling out in surprise to each other like, what's going on? It's tentacles! And then one of the black guards goes, shut it. It's clearly some kind of prison break. Just get to the cells. You. Who? Idiot. Boris, get over to the others. Bring reinforcements. And Redguard is going to start sprinting for the northwest door.
But he immediately runs into the back wall.
15, 20. So you can only get about that far using his normal movement, so he uses his action to dash the remains of his movement and he throws open the door.
Hang on, I thought that was a corridor that was on its own.
Sorry, what?
I thought that was a corridor, rather than like that's a contained room. That's what I was under the impression of.
Oh, sorry, no, this is like just an open wooden area that opens up onto that corridor. Otherwise, yeah, it'd be awkward to try and get in. It's basically like a guardsman area to just watch the prison cells.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, so yeah, he's taking off running to the door and throws it open, and he goes, and there's like, you can almost hear the eye rolls from within. Meanwhile, the black guards taking off, they're going to start moving towards the prison cells. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So that's their natural movement to get that far. And then
Okay. Oh, hold up. They all take damage. They started their turn in the Hunger of Hadar.
So it's 2d6, is that right? Is
I'll
it?
just do it through my spells. If this would let me. Here we go. Spells.
Is there
Hunger
a
of
skill check
Hadar.
or anything? Is it?
No, it's just if they start. No, just if they
Yeah,
start in
if
it.
they start and
that's
it's 2d6 cold
And
damage.
Basically, if they start or end their turn within the Hunger of Hadar,
Okay.
they get damage.
Yeah, so it's a dex check if they end their turn. So 2d6 cold damage for each of them.
So that's a 4 you can dedicate to whoever you want. So that's 4.
So it's red and then black 1 and black 2. So let's see how
That's
this goes.
8.
Nice.
And that's 6.
Okay, so 4, 8, 6. So yeah, just as the milky white tentacles start slapping across their flesh, they start to feel it's like freezing sensations. No one seems to immediately come running, but yeah, the guy throws open the door and guys, and you hear no response.
Mm.
The two black guards start marching east. As I say, they use up their movement to get this far, which means they have to take the dash actions to get any further. The first one reaches the grate, and he's you can hear the jingling of keys, and the grate swings open, and they move out into the corridor. But
When he opens up, that's my held action.
oh yes, right, go for it. So what was the DC?
DC 14 strength.
Okay, let's see how they do. Oh, that's a nat 1. So yeah, immediately. So it's like a force punch? Is that right?
Yeah, basically just she had her hand in the ready position where she takes her fighter stance, and she's just condensing. She's just gathering up her chi, and her hand is just like vibrating into at this fist, just holding it. And the second that she sees the person just come out, just thrusts it forward, and just this wave of air just pushes right into his chest, and then forces him 20 feet back in, and that's 3d10 damage.
Oh wow,
So-
3d10.
Yeah, we'll watch it all. I roll. Let me type right.
I gotta be back.
23.
That's huge!
What? So
Yay! Let's go.
So this black guard like steps out, and then just immediately there's this diminutive purple scaled kobold just is ready with her like fist ready, and just wham! And there's this almost turbulence erupts from her fist and just washes towards the black guard and takes him square in the center of his plate armor chest. And you see the arm actually dent inwards like divots, and it just it's sucked straight back into the Hunger of Hadar. And you can hear it go, and yeah, all the wind is knocked out of him by force, and he gets to try and take his deck save.
And wouldn't the guy behind him also get hit?
I think it's just a one target thing, right?
I mean, it's one target, but it pushes him 20 feet back, and he's right behind him.
Oh yeah, sort of clatter into each other, certainly. But yeah, he fails his dex save, so he also takes a further 2d6 damage, Sammy, from your Hunger of Hadar.
Wait, sorry.
So one of the black guards got fist punched straight back into your Hunger of Hadar, so give me another 2d6 damage. Hala just mega punched someone for 23 damage.
Sugar punch.
Yeah, so that's with the Hunger of Hadar's as well. That guy has taken
more than enough damage to kill him, obviously.
37 damage. Well, you can't see him, so you don't know what state he's in.
I can.
Yeah, so in my games, yeah, you can see straight through it. There's a lot of debate about Hunger of Hadar because it's not quite darkness, it's more like opaque blackness, but I think that's how it should work. So, yeah, you can see he's staggering within it. You can see the milky white tentacles just flailing at him, and he's just like getting battered from
his body.
Yeah, and you see that acid, like smoke, acrid smoke starting to rise from the plate metal armor as this Sidic's acid covering a bit various milky white tentacles start rising up. That is the end of the guardsman's turn. So what do you guys do? So they have to use their whole turn basically getting out of the Hunger of Hadar, and one of them got sent straight back in.
The guy's friend, he said, is still in there, unfortunately, so there's that, but we don't know how many other guards are going to be coming, so
I'm going to take a couple of steps back towards the doorway, so that I can see the guy in the hallway, but also keep an eye on the guy just on the precipice of the outer wall of the guard area.
So where are you taking a couple of steps back to?
So basically where the door that I failed to open was.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can still see both of those two targets. I will unleash a Eldritch Blast to the Black Guard. Both my Eldritch Blasts.
2 Eldritch Blasts. Okay, go for it.
Just for reference, can the first Black Guard, can they be pushed? Are they actually back into it? Because I still see them like right outside of Hungers of Hadar.
Yeah, so one of them, as the other one got smacked back into the Hunger of Hadar, the other one was just smashed into the wall, basically staggering. So he's probably more like there. But yeah, he didn't get slapped into it as well. So one's in, one's out.
Cool, so that's a... Oh, I didn't do to hit, did I? Shit.
No,
sorry.
you just went straight for damage. But if you do hit, that's max damage. That's a 12, unfortunately, does not hit.
I didn't tell you which one I went for first. Oh, no, I did. Shit, okay.
There's only one to target. No, well, actually, if you're targeting one inside the Hunger of Hadar, you have unseen advantage. But
I can't. There's a wall in the way, so no, it is both for that guy. So the second one is 22 to hit. So I imagine that hits.
Yeah, that hits. So yeah, that'll give you your 15 damage. So yeah, one's been smacked backwards by this force punch from Hallow, and just inside the Hunger of Hadar, and just like screaming in terror as the various milky white tentacles start wrapping around him. Meanwhile, the one that's outside, he's just been whacked into by his mate being force punched backwards, clanged into the wall, and then just an Eldritch Blast, just this crackling purple meteorite slams into his chest. Boom! His metal armor ringing, and you can just see there's a divot struck into it. Another blast of damage taken. Okay, so that's your turn, Ravenous, yeah?
Me.
Okay, so Hala, what do you do?
Let's see, don't like the idea of having to sit there and burn through all my stuff, but...
Don't worry, burning through all your key points super quickly is the best way to do it.
Clearly the best way forward.
It's the best way to play a monk.
I mean, yeah, because that's... If I wanted to, I would have sat there and threw another key point, just sit there and get 4d10 damage. But,
what do you do? How hard do you punch him?
That guy is not. I wouldn't be able to use the grapple fist because I was thinking about trying to push him back into the Hungers of Hadar and then close the door and then hold it.
Yeah, that certainly works. You've got contested. You've got the special wrestler gauntlets, haven't you? That we've only ever used once. So you can certainly try that.
I would also get advantage on that too. No, wait. I think it's advantage on escapes. Let me make sure. Cause I know I'm looking at the D&D Beyond sheet, and it has the advantage next to it. Let me just look at my stuff to make sure for that one. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with escaping.
Look. This is your acrobatics, right?
Yeah, squat nimbleness. Nimbleness. So
yeah, it's to escape. It's to escape.
Nimbleness.
Yeah, it's to escape.
Definitely a Harry Potter spell.
It's to escape being grappled. Yeah, but you can certainly take him on. Basically, your magic wrestling gloves allow you to use your acrobatics instead of athletics to grapple someone.
So would I be able to grapple them, throw them back in, and then
you can certainly you'd essentially
action, right?
it'd be your action to grapple them, or you can use it'd be your action to grapple them and you can move them aside. Otherwise, you can take the attack action to do a pushing attack, so that you can take 2 attempts to push them. It's kind of up to you how you want to do it, like grapple them and then move them inside, or just sort of punch them inside.
The pushing, that would just be my straight still dex, or that would be straight strength?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't done a push attack in a while. It's the kind of thing that Vlad knows off by heart. Shove action.
Athletics versus athletics or acro.
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, there you go. So, diminutive kobold, so you're not the best at strength, so probably your best bet will be grapple.
Okay,
So sort of grapple, then move them inside the Hunger of Hadar, and then move back out and close the door and hold it.
Yeah, so as in grapple, use my movement, let go, then get back out and close the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's go for that.
Okay, so give me your acrobatics check to see how you do with your grapple attempt.
25!
Nat 4. So, so yeah,
I think that works.
She's not exactly. Hala's not exactly strong and big, but she is proficient in wrestling maneuvers. And what she does essentially is just climb up the wall and then just leap off it, wrap her thighs around his head, and then just propel herself and whip him into the Hunger of Hadar. And he just sent stumbling backwards. He hits
the Hurricane Rana. I basically I do the Hurricane Rana. Let me see if I can pull that up just so you guys can have a visual thing. It's
right over the head.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I know Walls of Jericho. That's about it from when I was about 10. But anyway, so yeah, whips him into it. He immediately, you can hear metal slamming into wood as his plate armor slams into one of the chairs. It seems like it's a position for someone to sit and watch. It's probably where the guard earlier was watching the prisoners. And he just stumbling backwards, flailing, and he just knocks prone into the Hunger of Hadar. And then you just smoothly step backwards, close the cell door, and just hold your weight against it. Very nice. There we go. So you just stand inside, and you're just there, waiting, ready. Meanwhile, there is a third member of your little entourage. A certain noble gentleman. So he's picked up the just common spear that the guardsman had dropped, and he's just got it in his hand. Yes, I think I can do this. And then just starts moving down the hallway. Sees Ravenous sort of positioning herself before this door, and just like, they're coming from that way. Very well. I will ready myself to savage them appropriately. And just tucks the spear under his arm and just waits.
Appropriately.
And just waits in position to stab anyone who comes through that door.
Don't fight it.
Savage them appropriately. That is a lovely phrase.
Is it though?
It is.
Yeah, I mean, ravish. It's got a whole different. Savage, ravish. It's got different intonations. So that is the end of your turn, right? Everything there. That brings us up to what would have been round 10 upstairs. So round 10, the guards. No, so round 9 of the guards. Next will be your round 10. So the guards, Red Guard, having had no response from his calling out in the corridor, is like, they don't seem to be coming.
Were they all upstairs?
Yeah,
He knows. He seems genuinely baffled and confused. He's like, I'm gonna help. And he just turns around and takes off running back the way he came down this corridor. Says, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Does he really want to run through that little piece of Hunger of Hadar?
Yeah, running straight through it. He's just running straight through it. He takes a dash action, he gets out the other side.
He doesn't know how long that is. Just saying.
He's just going.
Well,
He's just trying.
He's just reaching the end of the corridor.
Remember the difficult terrain in 3 of those squares.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay,
So he reaches the door and he's out of breath. He's used his action to get to that point. He's just at the door, and you hear the jingle of keys. He doesn't. He's in fact, he's just about. He gets the keys in. You took the metal pin out with that. So he's able to get it open. Opens the door and swings it.
Oh wait, that was the one that was I'm okay. That was me being confused. I thought you were trying to open the escape person's door.
Oh,
not that door.
the prisoner door. No, she's trying to open the corridor door.
I was gonna, yeah.
The corridor.
Okay.
So he gets it open. Obviously, he's already used his action to get to this point. He's not particularly the best tactician because he opens it and he's got no action left. And there's a certain noble prisoner who's been waiting to stab someone as soon as they open that door. Mr. Noble Prisoner rolls a nat 15. So immediately, as soon as he opens the door, the Noble Prisoner just thrusts forward that bit. I have you now! And just stabs him straight through the shoulder, and it just erupts out of the back of him, and he just... this poor guardsman, he looks... What looks like a spotty teen. He's quite young, but, you know, he's working in the dungeon of Lord Flashheart's Manor, so he can't be exactly a good character. Rocks back from the blow, there's rivulets of blood pouring down his front. That is the end of what he can do. The 2 blackguards. Give me some 2d6s, Ravenous. Let's see what happens at the beginning.
Just one thing I forgot, because the second guard got pushed back into the Hunger of Hadar, did we do the end on their turn damage?
So one of the blackguards, we did the end of his turn damage. The second blackguard.
It was the end of
it's during your guys' turn. But give me two 2d6s. Two
DD6s.
It's very difficult to say this. Two batches of 2d6s
in total.
I got it.
Twice.
Well, that's for one.
Or 4d6.
So it's 6 for one of them. How about the other?
No. That was the 2 rolls. It was a 4 and a 2. Total 6.
Well, we're doing the.
So I need 2 batches of 2d6 because there are 2 guards inside.
Right.
Yeah, this is what I was struggling to say.
Sorry. Okay, the other
That's
one was
why
an
I like.
8.
That's the beauty of play by post. You can't get me wrong. So 6 and 8 damage. So yeah, inside the cold darkness of space itself starts pulling out the heat of these blackguards, and it's sort of the cold plate metal armor becoming ever more cold and just chilling against their flesh and burning. Yeah, chill burns essentially coming to them, and now it is their turn. Neither of them drop from that damage, but Ravenous can see that one of them, and I'm just going to colour him as appropriate. I'm going to make him blue because he's cold. So one of them is looking very much the worse for wear. They both come marching forwards out of the darkness and clang as they try to march out of the gate that Halla's holding. Give me I'm afraid it's going to have to be athletics check, Halla, to hold a gate. Or strength, up to you, but probably athletics really. It's the same difference, I think. I'm not proficient in either.
I have actually a +1 in athletics. I do have proficiency in that.
Go for it.
So that is a bit better if I can remember where the dang. 17.
Wow. This is quite reminiscent of last episode where you guys kept getting the clutch rolls that you needed.
Mighty.
And both of them just they're like gauntlets, they're black metal gauntlets wrapping around the bars, and they're wrestling against it and trying to like force. And you can see, well, you can't see because actually the plate metal armor's in the way, but you can almost feel their bulging muscles trying to strain against you. One's actually helping the other. So they actually.
The tentacles are helping.
Yeah, the tentacles are just flailing at their backs, and they're just
like, no! Pulling their hands away from the door. No.
It's so horrible. And it's straining. They're straining as hard as they can, but to no avail. Halla's able to hold the door. Once again, this strategy working out well with you guys, Team Hodor.
We're doing great.
And that's it. That's their turn. They spent their action trying to break out. What do you guys do?
So that means, hang on, if they take damage because they end
Yeah,
their turn,
only
Yeah.
one of them. Only one of them's inside the Hunger of Hadar. The other one's just about outside of it.
Okay,
So
there's a
give me.
5
I need.
damage.
So let me do a dexterity check for the one that's still inside. That's a fail. So yeah, 5 damage. The blue guy is on death's door. So Ravenous, you're able to see this. Because he's inside Haller, you can't quite see him. You can just see the gauntlet sticking out, but that's about all you can see of his body because the rest of it's inside this opaque darkness. But he's barely holding on to life. What do you do? So the door's flung open where the common guard is. He's taken a savage spear thrust through the shoulder from the noble prisoner. There's one black guard who's in death's door, and there's one black guard who's a little bit hurt.
I'm gonna throw both Eldritch Blasts at the guy that's just opened the door because I feel like Haller may get hurt if I throw anything her way.
Okay, so yeah, you're not sure about the shot. That's definitely fair. You got a much clearer shot, especially on the ceiling. It's the common
Imagine
guard.
just like me just opening the door just so Ravenous can shoot in.
Yeah.
Like, boom, boom, and then just close it again.
So that was a 22 to hit with 7 damage, and a 12 to hit with 10 damage.
Okay, so Ravenous lets loose one of those purple meteorites and it just sails dramatically down from the ceiling and slaps straight into the center of his chest and burns a clear hole and a little explosion of guts straight over the noble prisoner's face. And he's like staggering backwards, like, The second Eldritch Blast, because he's staggering backwards, isn't quite on target. It just slams straight between his legs, just narrowly missing his groin, just into the ground and just leaves a little smoking patch there, but no damage.
I feel kind of bad for this dude. I feel like this is his first job in it. Like, he's still living with mom and dad. And he's gotten this cool little guard job.
Not anymore.
And now he's gone.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
I feel real
choices.
bad.
Don't give him a backstory.
Oh,
would be
sorry. I
bad.
forgot.
Too
that
late.
we shouldn't do that.
Too late. It's canon. His parents are now grieving.
And what is his name, Ravenous?
His name is Cedric.
Give him a name.
Cedric Nimble Quiver. I don't know.
Nimble.
Why are we adopting
like
a person who's already dead?
Yeah.
Well, we're not adopting
All you're
him. We're
doing
just...
is writing a name on the wreath that's gonna get thrown over the charred remains.
Cedric Nimblebottom is, very thankful for his life right now. He's stumbling backwards, and there's smoke rising between his legs, where he just about missed his privates. Ravenous, that's your turn, right?
That will be my turn, but I will use some movement to get sort of a little... I want to move so that I have a better sight on the people below without hitting Haller, but also try and keep hold of... Actually, do you know what? Screw that guy. I'm going to go, keep moving down.
Okay, so you're down. Okay, so
He's
Haller.
a smart fry.
Haller, what do you do? You're holding the door right now.
Pretty much just gonna keep on doing that. I don't think I have any. I think the only thing I can think of is like be the little D-bag and then just open the door and then hit them and then close it and hold it again.
Is it a door or is it a grate? Because
It's a grate.
Barred, you can punch through that shit.
You can punch through that at disadvantage, though, because it's quite awkward trying to do so. But you're certainly welcome to try.
Well, I'm a monk, so it's also like I have unarmed strikes for all my limbs, legs, arms, and tail. So.
Also, have
Okay,
a question. Have you got keys from this door in particular?
Do what now?
Have you got keys from this particular door?
I think she has the keys for everything.
Yeah, you've got a set of keys.
They did try to get in through. We're unlocking it the other time, though, right? That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
keep
Trying to do.
it back up.
I mean, it's free item interaction competition. But what do you want to do?
I guess I will. Still while holding the door, I guess I'll free action put the key in there. Actually, that's the thing. Can I put the key in there and then try to break it in?
That's what I was thinking, but
Okay.
I'm not there.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Give me a strength check.
Oh man, you were keeping me on my toes.
Or you can make a punch attack upon it.
Punch.
Yeah. Oh, you turned off your video, Vlad, and it's ruined everything.
I know.
No,
I know.
Vlad.
Sorry.
Rude, and I'm real stupid. Blah 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 blah.
Ew.
Wow.
10 to 6
Wow.
damage. 10 to hit 6 damage.
Give me another one because you can do 2 attacks per action.
Yep. 23 to hit 7 damage.
There we go, that's more like it. So yeah, Hala just shoves the keys into the lock, twists to lock it, and then just slam, open palm, no effect on the key, just bends slightly, but then just reaches back and slams again with that monkish speed, and just snaps the metal straight off inside it. It's locked shut, and now there's a key stuck inside it. Nice. So you mostly disable that lock. I assume that's the end of your turn?
I guess if we got that one situated, hopefully. Let me see. Is there another door they can get out of, or gate, or whatever those things are?
So there's another gate to your right. That looks to be more like a viewing grate than an actual physical one that you can pass through. So the only other entrance out of this area would be the door where the noble spearman's holding.
Well, there's still a hold here just in case they somehow get out, and because that would leave them straight access to Ravenous.
Okay, so yeah, you're just holding place. Okay, so that's the end of your turn. Next up are them. So that's Ravenous. Give me 2d6 times 2, 1 for the blue, 1 for the black.
I think, did you not miss? Wait, did you not?
Oh,
miss the,
noble spearman,
extra person?
noble spearman,
Yeah.
of course. And he just starts whipping around at spears like. Right. Well, I think it's time for you to be ended, shall we? And then just thrust forward with it. Let's see how he does. Yeah, that's good. Thrust forward into this spotty junior prisoner's right into the belly, into the center of the belly, and just gouges straight through him. There we are, then. Cedric Nimblebottom is not so nimble. Just collapses to the ground, bleeding out, and he's downed.
And the tentacles grab his body and drag him into the abyss. The cold, unforgiving abyss.
Okay. So Ravenous, give me your 2d6s. Your 2 batches of 2d6s.
That is a 10
4
for damage
46.
and a 8 for damage.
Okay. So the Black Armored Guard, who's been heavily wounded by the various things that have been happening to him, you see the well, Ravenous can see, because Hala can't see into the darkness, but Ravenous can see this. The biting, freezing cold of the darkness starts setting into his armor and his flesh, and you can see his patches of frost start spreading out across the armor. And there's a slight shaking. You can actually, all of you can hear this. It's like the actual metal armor just ringing from him shaking inside it, and then abruptly it stops. The ringing stops, the shaking stops, and he just collapses face first into the ground. One black armored guard down, so it's just one black armored guard left. The other one, he's wounded. He's definitely not out for the count just yet.
Okay.
Give it a second.
So that brings us to his turn. So he's inside. You can see Hala. He's outside of the Hunger of Hadar for the most part. There's this gate just held. The actual metal key just broken off inside, and he's watched Hala do that. You are going to regret doing that, little girl. And he just takes out his greatsword and tries to thrust it forward between the bars. So this is at disadvantage.
Excuse me,
Okay.
what did he just call her?
Little girl. Because she is little. She's a little kobold girl.
She's a little kobold girl.
Excuse you, she is big in heart and spirit?
Just
Okay. What's your... I don't think it matters what your AC is, because I'm just going to... You got Nat 19 with a disadvantage of Nat 19 as well.
Things you don't want to hear the DM say.
17. So yeah, that was a hit.
Yeah, and then the second one, he ends up with a 20 to hit, so that would be terrible damage rolls though. So a total of 15 damage.
I mean, for me, that's not terrible. That's
yeah, so you
about
just
half my health.
So levels it through the bars and just thrusts forward with all the might he can muster, and it just stabs into Hala's chest, and she just tries to veer away from it, but she wants to be staying near the bars to make sure they can't break out of it, and he just pulls back and just thrusts forward again, leveling it through the bars, and just takes her again straight through the shoulder. Half her health points taken, but still on her feet, still able to hold him inside. Now it's your guy's turn.
I'll just be like, "That's your best, sweetie."
Oh, snap.
Oh, if even if I go down, he's not gonna enjoy it. He doesn't get that satisfaction.
Okay, so Sammy.
I'm gonna release 2 Hunger of Hater, not Hunger of Hater. Sorry, I just love this spell so much. 2 Eldritch Blasts, so that's a 21 to hit, 6 damage. That is a 23 to hit with 14 damage.
Okay, that's pretty good going.
I'll be back.
Okay. Vlad.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to turn your camera on anytime soon, just so I can get the cameras back on?
Fine.
I have this whole setup, and you're just not letting it work because you do me.
There we go. 2 Eldritch Blasts, these 2 purple meteorites loosed from Ravenous, just splashing into these black armored guard. Bam, bam. The first one is fairly ineffectual. It's barely managing to bear through his armor. But the second one is pretty clearly grievous, and there's a plume of smoke rising from his flesh, and he's not looking particularly well off. Thank you, darling.
It's alright. Don't forget the extra presents.
Yeah. These two grievous wounds taken to him, and he's just stumbling backwards against the wall, and he's looking fairly worse aware. Hala, what do you do?
Well, let's see. I don't have to be over here, but if I had to move, that he gets attack of opportunity, right?
If you move away from him, he can certainly try, but it'll be at a disadvantage. But he's looking the worse for wear after those Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. No one's near him, so I can't get the thing that I want, so I can't at least level it out. So what I'm going to try to do instead is, I'll just use a key point just to step away from the door and head over to where Ravenous is.
Okay, so you can do.
I'll just use my disengage action. I don't even have to use a key point.
Yeah. So you can just use your disengage as an action and move away from the door, no longer holding it.
Just gotta do the wink and the little kissy motion, and then just walk away from him. let him deal with all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got this, buddy.
Okay. So yeah, just a little wink, and you step away from the bars and just leave him to his fate, stuck inside, as you move away towards Ravenous' position. Yeah, you try to stab forward his greatsword, and you just slap it aside easily because you've taken disengage action. No worries, just ducking away. Just leaves him aside. Meanwhile, the noble spearman, he's just looking around. You can see there's just one last opponent. He's like, aha! There's still one of them left. I'll take care of him, and starts taking off running south. With no concern for his own safety. Let's just see how he does with his thrusts.
Noble idiot. I swear, if you die for this, you deserve it.
So he just takes off running south, thrusts his spear through the bars with disadvantage because it's through bars, and just clangs ineffectually against one of the metal bars and just skewers the air neatly just to the right of this blackguard. No effect. And he tries to draw it back, and he's like, wow, this is rather more challenging than I expected. Damn. And he just stands there. And that's the end of his turn. That's the end of your turn, so it brings us to the guard's turn. And that is the end of round 10. So that is when upstairs the poetry slam is just about completing. Brings us to the black guard's turn. He's going to I think he's going to try a straight athletics check to try and burst out from his prison.
2d6 and starting it though.
He's not quite. He's like just about inside it, but with his fellow guardsmen there, he's sort of just pulling himself out of the way. But yeah, give me 2d6, Sammy.
Beep 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 beep. Hunger of Hader kills you all. Boop boop. That's 6.
6 damage. So yeah, again,
that's my favorite song.
it's that freezing. You can hear this sort of clank and crunch, or the freezing cold starting to bite away at his armor, and he's looking very much the worse for wear now, but he's still not quite dead. And he gives his titanic roar as he starts barging. He actually lowers his shoulder and barges his way out of his prison, out through the gate, and out from the Hunger of Hadar into the area with you proper. And he's like, You three are going to suffer. I will make sure of it personally. And even as he's like bleeding and on death's door.
You're in no position to be making threats, sir.
Let's finish this. Ravenous Halla, let's have your attacks.
Okay, so I can actually get up to him, and because old boy is right there, I now get advantage, and now that he's out of Hungers of Hadar. Sucks to suck, bro.
Pat tactics, Kobold, yeah, go for it. So give me your advantage attack rolls.
Yep. Ooh, nat 20. Oh, double one, so on that. You hate to see it.
You get a nat 20, but you rolled 2 1s in the damage roll. Oh, man.
No.
But it is enough. Ravenous, I assume you'd have been Eldritch blasting it as well at the same time.
Yeah, I've rolled both, so that was a 18.
You got nat 20 as well.
You also nat 20. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
So that was
you just
28 to hit 13 damage, as well as a. I didn't get a nat 20, just you did. Oh,
no,
you did.
yeah, it's
Sorry.
there. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
I got one,
So he barges his
and then
way
18
out.
to hit 8 damage.
Yeah, so he barges his way out of the door, and just the key just broken key just flies off across and clangs across the ground. The grate slamming against the stone as he barges out into the corridor. He's like, "You're gonna suffer," and then just gets hammered. And Halla's like a blurred racing across the ground. Just bam, 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 bam. 2 fists just slamming into his side, and one of them staves in the metal, and then 2 purple meteorites just slam into his chest, and it's just a smoking, bloodied, bruised, cold corpse that just collapses to the ground, dead before it even reaches it. You defeated the initial guards in this area. Right. Is there anything else you guys do before I flick over to what the other guys are up to upstairs?
How could I jet away, not getting rid of my Hunger of Hadar yet? Can I jet to the end of that corridor to just have a peek through to the next area?
Yeah, so you can certainly go there and you can have a look through this door, essentially is what you mean?
But
Yes.
Don't I have any class features to heal myself? Because I'd like some health back.
I may
You
have a
got
health
potions.
potion that I can give you.
So what you
We did this before Tasha, so I don't have that ability.
No. So you look into the room beyond. Now that the door is open, you can see which looks like a small
One
room.
might say you look into the D&D beyond.
Yeah, sponsor us. So you look down the corridor and you see this what looks like an empty room. All the doors are closed at any end. It doesn't look like there's anyone who is ready to come marching into defense. Maybe they would have been beyond those doors, but no one came running. From the spotty dweebs. Cool.
In which case I will drop my Hunger of Hadar, so others may follow if they wish.
Okay, so yeah, and just Ravenous drops her concentration on the Hunger of Hadar. Right, I'll just go to Lou.
You need to move me as well. Because I said I moved.
Where?
To the I go to the end of the corridor, through my Hunger of Hadar to the corridor end.
Oh, like there?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I can see in the next room.
Sorry, I misunderstood. So you're there. Right, I'll go to Lou. We'll be switching over to the other group. So you other group have a little think about what you'll be doing after your dramatic Hodor defense.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I mean, it's very, very obvious. We have to preserve as much beauty as we can, which starts by collecting the corpses, cashing them into the room, looting them maybe just a little, and yeah, just making sure that the place is
Making
nice
a
and
nice
clean.
bonfire.
We just need to
No, no, no.
preserve.
There is one blackguard among those. If you catch my
Oh,
drift.
you mean for the armor?
I did not say that bit out loud, but yes.
And how long does it take to get armor off of a guy? Because I'm pretty sure it's like a half an hour.
It's 10 minutes if you want to keep the guy intact.
It's
I was gonna say
10
it
minutes.
depends how careful you're being.
It's only 10 minutes, guys.
No, I mean it's 10 minutes if you know the person is taking it off himself. If you can
Mm.
just chop the legs off to pull it down faster, it's going to be a bit quicker, isn't it?
Yeah, how long does it take to chop off someone's limbs? Those aren't actually easy.
Yeah, that's a
As
great
a,
question.
as a person who's chopped off plenty of limbs in my day,
Of course, yes, that's a normal
of course.
amount of limbs to be chopping off people. Yes.
Yep. I mean,
don't you question that, Nanto?
it definitely takes a lot less time than kicking them off. I can tell that as a fighter to a monk.
Breaking crab's claws, you know.
My God.
I actually don't
Uh.
eat seafood, so I don't know how easy that is.
I really don't eat seafood that much either.
It's annoying.
Not a simple task, but given that there's been a lot of fighting which involved getting people's limbs off, I think it's manageable.
Okay, so upstairs, unbeknownst to all of you, what's happening downstairs? So you've defeated the guards, you've charmed the guards into defeat, but well, the ones that you haven't stabbed to death anyway. So they're backing away. Johnny is just sort of almost in victory as he's going, "I told you that there's nothing untoward here. They just wanted a tour." And the blackguard is like, there is. I've never heard such beauty.
Nanto just kind of steps, like, tapping his staff, like, on the floor for emphasis. Just, and that's what I've been trying to tell you, Johnny. I'm so glad you came to our aid. Thank you so much. Now, how about that tour?
The two, how many guards are dead?
About 4, including one blackguard.
Wait, I thought the blackguard was
There were
two.
Two black
Yeah,
guards,
no,
one
but I
dead.
thought the blackguard was the last attack was a pommel.
Sorry, you're absolutely right. He was incapacitated. Sorry, dead. Dead as in no longer
Okay, who's
moving,
down?
but not actually dead.
I would like to start using my medicine kit to stabilizing the people who are possible to be stabilized.
Okay, so medicine kit. I believe it's just automatic success, right?
Sure
What happens
is.
when they come to consciousness and then start attacking us, though.
But you're not there, so you don't get to
Stabilized
comment.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, you're right. I don't get to comment. Sorry, ignore me.
So,
I
Another
don't
thing to
exist in
mention
this
is
scenario.
yeah. So there's a difference between stabilized and conscious still.
yeah.
So
Mm.
stabilized just means he won't die the next moment.
Yeah.
Right.
As a
he'll-
vet nurse, I should know this.
And he'll also need healing from some source to become conscious, and even if he does get healing from some sorts, then he's also right about to die again with a single punch.
Yeah,
assuming he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
get much healing.
So,
I'm just saying, if I was just, like, resurrected from being unconscious, my first response wouldn't be to, like, punch the nearest person in the face.
Just say that, but you haven't had that.
Oh,
Look,
oh, you Nato, you sweet summer child. Hey, Lyroon, remember that one time where you were the bugbear and then you were controlled by a succubus and you knocked me out? What did I do the first thing that I woke up? What happened?
Do a punch.
You
to the
complimented my amazing double-bladed scimitar skills.
I punched you in the face.
so in the interest of getting this going, though, so Lyroon pulls out his medicine kit and starts setting to work, just bandaging up the very worst of the blackguard. It's well, not the blackguard, but the other two guards that Buruk has been mercilessly savaging with his long sword. Buruk, how do you react to Lyroon seeming to try to save their lives?
I'm quite neutral to that. I would be more looking towards the guards, seeing that none of them are inclined to fight. and just nod at the blackguard and say, "Yes, there's plenty of beauty, but we've also made quite a mess over here. Sorry. Could you help us gather them all in this room here?" As I start dragging all the bodies into this mini dungeon.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're just going to drag the various unconscious and dead or dying bodies into the room, even as the
And
librarian's
if
working.
there is a moment where none of the gods is inside, I would quickly rifle through what they've got.
It's not quite as lawful
Oh
as
my
I
god.
assumed.
Give me an investigation check and a sleight of hand check.
Oh, hang on. They're fucking unconscious. How slight does he have to be?
For the
It's
other
slight to-
guards.
Yeah, but most of them are charmed.
It's
so...
how subtle is he being, and how good is his check?
Charm-
Oh, he's very
Oh,
subtle
yeah,
because he got a nat 15, but he's
Investigation is
Yeah.
a bit worse.
so Burke. He starts,
Didn't really
you know,
work it out.
as he's dragging the bodies through, he's just trying to like give a light feel on them as he's taking them in. Is it
Oh, I see puppy dog tail.
in whose window?
And that's a face too. It's a
Is
good
that
fight.
correct?
Oh, this would be in Flair's window. I can't see it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Burke's just feeling up the bodies as he's bringing them in. He's trying a little bit too hard to not be caught, and so he's not able to get a good feel upon them. He's mostly just detecting the normal accoutrement that a guardsman would have. There's like ration packs, spears. They've already thrown all their daggers. On one of them, you find a bit of pocket change that you can pocket if you wish.
I would most certainly do that.
Okay, you find 7 gold pieces and 3 silver. So, Nanto, what are you doing?
So while they're doing that, I would just like to, I would like to walk out of the room and just kind of like dusting myself off, just saying, "Well, I am so thoroughly glad that you enjoyed the show. I'm terribly sorry for all the trouble that was caused."
And the blackguard who's standing there, he's got his hands on his hips now. He's like, "It was part of the beauty, really. It's, there's no poem complete without sword strokes exchanged."
Let's being attacked by a vicious beast.
It's just so
I
biased.
don't know if she's gonna die. She's gonna die or not from this cuteness attack.
But none of us can see this.
She won't be able to survive this.
So,
It's too cute. Oh, sorry.
yeah, they're just exchanging comments about the beauty. Burke's trying to feel up guardsmen, see what money they have on them. Lyrian's trying to heal them up. And yeah, it's just this exchange.
Was I not successful on any of them?
No, you were successful on both the guardsmen that you were applying your bandages to. So it's an auto success, and you were there reasonably fast enough.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah. So you're just wrapping your bandages around the worst of the long sword puncture wounds and slashes that Burke's delivered. They seem reasonably better off for it. Anything else that you guys are doing? So the guardsmen seem to be like standing back and just like, all right, well. And then Johnny goes, I suppose, well, now that we've got that nastiness out of the way, it's time to get on with the tour.
Oh, most certainly. I dearly apologize for the inconvenience caused, my dearest friend.
So Burke would just quickly look at everyone else getting ready and say, I'll just clean this place up. I'll be here in a moment." As he dashes back down into the mini room.
Okay, so Burke's going back into the dungeon.
Yep. Please don't close the door just yet.
Close it right away, close it!
And Lyrian.
Did we see a way to open it from the inside during our various investigation checks?
Yeah. So there's just like a lever to open the door. So yeah, if you get trapped inside, you're not trapped forever.
Cool.
Oh,
Okay, so Lyrian, what are you doing? So you've healed a couple of people, made sure they're not bleeding out to death. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, let's stay safe, Baruch. I'm gonna stay with Nanto. Let's finish this tour.
Sure. I'll be right with you guys.
Is that a lie? If so, I want a deception check.
There will be. I genuinely think that I will be with them.
Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, Johnny is just like, right, well, come on, lads, let's show them what Flashheart's manor is really about. So it's not. Well, I'm terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I'm sure you can appreciate we can't let anyone into Lord Flashheart's secret chambers, but onwards. And he just starts leading you off.
I completely understand, Johnny, my dearest friend. But I do thank you for being able to, well, help us in our time of need. Your words were very persuasive to your friends.
And he's like, well, I appreciate it. I work very hard for Lord Flashheart. He's a tough employer, but he pays well.
And we noticed that, Johnny. That's why you're going places, you know.
Well,
Oh, backhand compliment.
well, after me then. Come on then. And he starts leading you away over towards the staircase at the corner of this room, and leading you upstairs.
Perfect.
Okay. Burke, what are you doing? Burke, what are you doing while they're led away? I'm curious.
So, first things first, I check how easy or difficult it is to get the plate armor off the poor blackguard who's alive, and I would prefer to keep it that way, and I take it's not a few moments task.
Yeah, so from what courtesy look over it is, even if you were wearing it, it would be a good 10-minute job.
Yeah, that's fair enough. At which point, obviously, Brooke would let out quite a few Hobgoblin's curses. But with that out of the way, I think I'm just going to go around the entrance of the room, collecting all the thrown weapons that have been placed.
Oh my god.
I know for a fact there was a crossbow that's been thrown down on the ground.
There
and
is.
about half a dozen spears and half a dozen daggers.
Yeah.
And some of those most likely are scooped up by the guards as they were helping us out.
No, they just went straight to. They merged up into like an escort phalanx. So yeah, you get 8 spears, 8 daggers, 1 light crossbow.
Excellent.
And
All of
Write this down.
Hey man, Baruch, props to you for thinking of that and remembering it all through the battle. Like, I'm impressed.
That's his whole thing.
Kill them and take all their stuff.
He just wants weapons.
Yeah, that's his whole thing though. Is accumulating weapons. He's the walking cutlery cup. Okay.
I love how both our characters, all 3 of our characters are doing exactly what our characters would do. Lyroon starts helping the injured, regardless of who they are. Baruch was like, weapons! And Nento's like, onward, be silly!
Come along, no time to waste. Like leaving behind a wake of destruction and dead bodies. Come on then!
So a bard.
Yeah, it's just, leave behind a wake of dead or impregnated bodies. So,
But yeah, once all of what I can find are collected, I would go in just for sure to stab a couple more wounds through the pictures frame.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna be so pissed if you didn't say picture frame.
Just the people in that library would save. Just like, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get the XP, man. Yeah, but it's just running around the room. Yeah, you don't find anything new, but yeah, just a couple extra stabs in the picture frame, and you gather up all those weapons. So you got 8 spears, 8 daggers, 1 light crossbow, 2 light crossbow bolts, and meanwhile, Nanto and Lyroon are being led away up the stairs to the upper floor of this sort of art gallery style room. So let's see if I can get this to work.
Oh, it's such a good puppy.
There we go. So that's what you see from above. It's just like a viewing gallery that's around this fancy room, and the guardsmen just start leading you away on what is a legitimate tour of the property around. Meanwhile, well, unless you do anything else, Nanto and Lyroon, you're going to do anything unexpected during your tour. Otherwise, I'll flick back to the other group.
I want to keep an ear out for any sounds, especially any sounds that any more explosions.
Mhm.
And I want to keep an eye out for secret lovers.
Okay, give me an investigation check, just as you're generally investigating as you go, just looking for any signs of secret levers, ways around as you're getting led through the manor.
That was not the right button.
And it's sort of,
I would like to look at the emotions of the doors. No, sorry. So that's investigation. So that is why can't I read? It's -1, so that's an 8.
okay. This is probably music's a little bit dramatic for the situation, so let me just see if I can skip this.
No, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want to do.
That was meant to be the Explore playlist. I don't know why it did that. Let's see if I can fix that. Is it doing?
Intrigue. Creepy.
Is it now
Mystery.
exploring music?
No, it's 2
No,
steps
it's
from
pretty
Nelson.
dramatic.
Let's hang on. You know what? I'm just
Two
gonna
steps
go
from
ahead. What I'll do is I'll disconnect rhythm.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, stalker.
Play the correct music. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, you're led. The initial room you're led into. There's a standing plate of another suit of plate metal armor. Actually, it looks quite old, rather traditional looking. At least.
Sorry, I just remembered how stupid we are because once again we have the two people with. Never mind.
Yeah, so it's this plate metal armor. There's a couple of vases and jars around it, and it almost looks like a storage room. And they're like, "Wow!" And it's Johnny leading you through this guided. So this is well, it's just a storage room, really. It's just we keep it by the art gallery in case Flashard wants to swap out the key items. But you know, there's a couple. I quite like this plate armor personally. You see the filigree just on, and then he just starts pointing out the various details of the various items in the room. Lyroon is like got a constant eye out for any signs of secret levers and such. You don't see anything of significance here. It's just a storage room. Meanwhile. Oh wait, I've picked the wrong time to do meanwhile because Ravenous is clattering.
The wrong time to meanwhile.
The wrong time to meanwhile.
Then let's go to the next room.
Yeah, let's go to the next room. So, Johnny just continues leading you on the tour, taking you straight through to a door through to your right. It's just this corridor that ends in a lone armchair in front of a fireplace, and there's this full real size portrait, another real size portrait of Lord Flashheart hanging over the fireplace.
Does it move at all?
This one does not,
Goodness.
but it's him like standing, like his hands on his hips, his chin like pointed up, and like the sun's coming in behind him. He looks far too heroic, and actually, you've met Lord Flashheart, you know what he looks like, and this is just about. If he was about a 6 out of 10 before, he's now an 8 out of 10 in this picture. In terms of heroicness.
So a lot of Photoshop filters is what.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of artistic flair has been applied to this. Meanwhile, downstairs, now that we have both Ravenous and Hala here, so what do you guys do? So you're downstairs. You let me just
blank safety slide. Slide?
Yeah.
Slide? Yeah, no.
There we go. There we go.
Why did I have so much trouble? Okay.
So
words are hard, man.
Words are hard. So you defeated the guards that are around. You're down in this dungeon style area. You can see there's what looks like now that you've dismissed the Hunger of Hadar, you're able to get a proper look at what was down there. It looks like almost like a common area, almost like a staff room, but they generally just sat there and were able to watch who was ever in the prison cell. Ravenous started making her way down the corridor towards that open door that this spotty teen who was called Cedric Nimblebottom had opened. And you can see there's just an empty room. There's a door ahead of you, to your right and to your left. Silence coming from all. Can't hear from any of them.
So, I use the sending stone that I still have in my possession.
Which can only be used once a day, and we've already used it.
Yeah, no. So I meant to mention this to you guys. So basically, the way I'm ruling this is that you can send one each way. So each sending stone can be used to send a sending spell to the other recipient.
Oh.
Just to make it slightly less lame, because it's such a lame item. Otherwise, so
Very
basically,
niche ability.
yeah, if you got a stone, you can send a sending spell.
Okay, so I use my sending stone. I've got to make sure I don't exceed the 25 words that I have. In basement, west of you, because I know where they were. Immediate threats taken care of.
10.
And now I've got another. Okay, illusion wall. So walk through. And that's all I send.
Okay, so you got 10 words to spare. So who's got the other sending stone? I think it was.
Oh, it's Lyroon.
Yeah, it's Lyroon.
Okay.
So Lyroon, as you're getting this tour around the upper floors, you just get these words from Ravenous enter your mind about there's a secret dungeon and whatnot. What do? You can reply to that message.
I immediately say to the guards,
He just
"Excuse
says,
me,
"Okay."
I have to take this call."
Make it less obvious.
It's just a funny situation that I didn't expect to be in D&D.
Yeah, so
Like,
this is
what is a call?
this is as you were walking up the steps into the upper floor, actually, so you can change what you're going to do as a result of this if you wish.
Cool. So I kind of back and excuse me, I gotta take this. I'll join back up with you guys later.
Okay. And what do you say?
I would like to say back.
Can I some words because I didn't I think I have about this many words left.
Yeah, you got 10
You've got 10 words. You got 10 words left.
Oh, 10 words. I was gonna say because I didn't give enough detail, so I
And
said
that will be your 10 words?
I said west of you, illusion wall, so walk through. Look for room, wood on floor.
Wood on floor.
Because it's the wood scattered on the floor at the moment because I couldn't illusion that.
Or,
Sure.
If I were to say logs.
Logs, fine. Wood, logs, same thing.
Yeah, so
I mean,
I think for the sakes of experiences, you would give you the gist of where the room is and
sure.
such.
And I respond, we are safe-ish upstairs.
Is safe-ish one word?
Yes, it's hyphenated.
Yeah, okay.
I'll join up with you soon.
That's 10 words. You still have another 15.
I am a very succinct person. Okay.
Oh!
And I finished that with you're no. No, that's it.
That's it. Okay. So yeah, you hear those words back. So you communicated to what's going on upstairs. Lyrin, so you were just going to hold back while you were replying. What do you do after doing that?
I call out to Nanto, who's up there, and I say, and I lie, and I say that, sorry, buddy, I have to head out of here. Try to catch up with me soon.
Okay.
Oh, no problem.
Give me a deception check.
Really want to tour.
I think that is the only reason Nanto came.
Yeah, I just want the tour.
He wanted a party and a tour, and he's all good.
So that's good enough for passive insight. So yeah, just common lie. You got to hold back. It's not too unbelievable. Okay, so you start peeling back from the group. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go grab Baruch. If it's possible to do it subtly.
Yeah.
And then explain what's going on and say, let's head over to the. She said,
Is that
right?
down below?
Yeah,
Yeah, she-
the dungeon area. I mean, we'll
Right.
work it out.
Yeah.
West from you.
yeah.
I said.
We'll work it out. So, yeah, you pick up Buruk. Meanwhile, while Nanto is getting given the guided tour by his groupies, and it makes sense because he's the rock star in this moment, or poetry star. And yeah, they're just sort of following along like this escort that's following him. Even the ones that weren't charmed by him, they're sort of charmed by those who are charmed. It's almost following the crowd quite literally. And particularly,
they're not going to disobey the boss is going that way. We're going to go with them.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know,
So-
I'm dying inside not being able to touch the boss.
So I can't see this, so you guys don't tempt me.
Basically, Claire has a cute puppy.
I can imagine. I've seen it many times. Ravenous sends off the sending message using the sending stones. Halla, what are you doing? I assume just catching up. Is Halla there?
He's here.
I'm
In
always here.
Excellent. So Halla, yeah,
I can compete with the cuteness now.
catch up. You're there.
No,
So,
no, kitty cats are nice, but it's nothing compared to puppy dogs.
Aww.
It's
We can
it's
get into that debate later.
yeah, exactly. We've got a quarter of an hour left. So, you're into the central chamber. Ravenous sent off that sending stone message. Halla, you can see she's just sort of. I assume Ravenous, you're going to intuit somehow that you are doing this.
What?
She was around the corner.
I would telepathy and be like, I've sent a message on the sending stone. Hopefully the others will be here soon.
So there you go. You guys all meet up in this room on your way westward that the guard have been running. Hello, what are you doing?
I was gonna press forward because, I mean, she's hoping that maybe that Will was here, but I mean, it's still here, and that he just didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's very likely, and I'm all for the exploration.
Okay, so which direction you want to go in?
Straight ahead, where the fucking only entrance is.
I wonder we can.
Well, there's a door above you.
Kind of an entrance. Yeah, it's just hard to see.
There's a
because
door
it's
above
kind
you,
of
a door to the south of you, and there's a door to the west of you.
Okay, well, I'll say to Halla, I'm gonna look in the one to the north. You go south. Although we would be looking east and west, so I'm gonna go east. You go west.
I get what you mean. Hello, I assume you go along with that.
Sure.
Okay, so first of all, Ravenous marches over to the door to the north, and you open it up, and you see there's no one inside. You can see it's an empty room, and there's a wave of heat washes over you as soon as you open the door. I'm just going to check that you're able to hear me because you seem quite distracted. There we go.
I can.
All good. So
No. Those of us with animals, yes, we're very, very distracted.
Yeah, so it's a
I don't
wave
know what
of
you're
heat.
talking about. I'm entirely present.
It's a wave of heat that washes over you as soon as you
I
open.
never left this conversation.
As soon as you open the door, there's a wave of heat that washes over you. Dry burning heat. You start making your way inside, and you see there's a roaring furnace over on one side, and over on the floor there's a considerable amount of blood. And actually, there's a table. What it looks like. There's one or two dismembered body parts atop it, and you can see there's various crates for the supplies. What it looks like there's a few bottles of booze just nearby to where you came in, but beyond in the secondary area just around here, you can see that's where the furnace is, and here's where what looks like almost like a butcher's table. It's pretty grim inside. Meanwhile, Halla opens up a door.
People parts on that table.
Sorry? Yeah.
You're saying that there are people parts.
Yeah, dismembered limbs.
So not cool. Flashlight.
Yeah. Meanwhile, to the south, Halla opens a door in what looks like an office area. It looks like it's vacated at the minute. Doesn't seem to be anyone inside. But
Investigations, more evidence.
Yeah, you can certainly do an investigation check. So you have a look around the desk, and it's like a weighty wooden desk with a thick wooden chair behind it. There's a few papers on top, so you can have a rummage through those. You can have a rummage through the desk. There's a table to the side. It looks like a few weapons scattered across them. Let's see how you do. Wow, nat 19. Nat 19 minus 2 for a 17 total. Yeah, I mean, Hala, despite her grimly low intelligence, is able to
How rude.
Well, it's minus 2. It's bad.
Minus 2.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, mine's -1. Let's be nice.
No, but it is minus 2. So rifling
that's
through.
twice as bad.
So rifling through the papers, you're able to see that there's it's similar records to what you found upstairs. They corroborate them. It's people coming in. There's payments here and there, but there's a couple of details that seem to be making out around one particular. The most recent papers that are on the, because there's only like 3 or 4 sheets of paper on it, but 2 of them are particularly focused on one prisoner who seems to be putting up a lot of resistance, and there's a lot of like
I wonder who this might be.
an angry looking scrawl from someone that they seem to be almost impervious to the administrations, and they keep talking about, we keep applying the phrase and they keep rejecting it.
Oh, so there's mind control happening. That's creepy. Don't like that. Rapey culture. Just saying.
So that's what Hala finds. Okay, so that's what you find to the north and south. What do you do?
Pocket that. Hey, Ravenous. How about you come over here and take a look at this? And I will make sure that Ravenous sees this information. And in case she wants to do her own investigation in the room, because she has higher than me stuff.
I mean,
17 is pretty good, but yeah, and you can certainly do your own.
if you, I'd be like, do you think this is something we need to take for evidence? Because I have some of that on me, but we can always do with more.
Yeah, more evidence is always.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, more evidence is always going to be good.
All right, Ravenous grabs the book, stuffs it into the bra of holding.
The what?
Every woman has one. Don't fight it. I've seen all kinds of objects come out of bras of holding. Don't even fight it.
I was unaware of such power.
Well, you don't have, like, women don't have pockets, so the natural pocket comes from the bra.
It's nature's pocket.
Yeah,
Don't ask about the other one.
it's called a brocket. But anyway, so you start gathering up the various evidences. Ravenous adds it to her accumulating collection. I think this alone is
invoices, a ledger, and this book.
Yeah, well, these papers, they're not signed by Lord Flashheart. They're actually signed by the initials TL.
What initial, sorry?
TL.
Can I do an investigation to...
Sorry, T as in, like, pterodactyl? Fuck, that
Yeah.
don't work.
T as in elephant, and L as in lemur.
T as in Thomas, and L as in Lima.
Oh, I thought it was okay. Thomas Lemur, got it.
Thomas Lima.
Thomas Lemur. Can I do an investigation to see if I can think of anybody with those initials?
That would be a history check, but you can certainly try. I'm not saying you can succeed.
-1 check, and I got 13.
Would I be able to do that as well?
You can give her advantage, or you can do it separately. You can both stare at the parchment.
Advantage.
You can't do it after the fact, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But Hala, you can history check as well to see if the initials TL mean anything to you, particularly as a local resident of Daggerford.
Can I have also our other local resident help me with that?
I'm afraid not. She's already.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the noble guardsman?
Yeah.
Well, not guardsman, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can certainly ask him, does this mean anything to you? And he's like, he's seeing you gather the papers, and he's like, yeah, you can take advantage. We'll see what happens.
Okay. 5.
And he's looking at,
yeah.
He's uneasy on his feet anyway from his treatment. But he's like, I don't know what that could mean. TL? Tender love?
Yes,
so-
of course, that's what it means.
So, unfortunately...
You've been locked up for some time, I see.
So, gather up these papers. You don't quite know who they might refer to, but certainly they seem to be ominous. And it's just more... It's more evidence, and you put in your bra of holding, more evidence against Lord Flashheart. Okay, so I assume you make your way towards the left room?
We continue to the west.
Yeah.
Okay, so meanwhile, I think at this point, Lyroon would have met up with Burke and an exchange.
Yes, so as Lyroon comes in, he would see Burke just getting out of the room with one of the 8 daggers jammed into the lever to just make sure that it doesn't move as it's intended to.
I'm willing to be trapped inside there. So yeah, Nanto's obviously upstairs. The two of you have met up. Yeah, Burke's just jammed a dagger into there. What do you guys do?
After explaining everything, come on, they sounded like Nanto has everything covered upstairs. He should be fine. Let's see what we can do to the west.
Wait, you're saying they got into battle there? Where did they find more guards?
That is a great question, and we'll have to find out the answer together. Only had 25 words at my disposal.
How curious. Right, let's go then. And you can see that Burke is basically a bit confused by that whole idea of having a limited amount of words. He's something up for him. But fine, let's go. We'll find out what it is.
I only have so many words. I mean, just say more.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way over towards those stairs that lead you downstairs. It takes you a little while. It's a couple of rounds of just running along, but with no guards keeping an eye on you anymore, you're easily able to troop your way downstairs. As you make your way down, you make your way over to this wood store room. Thankfully, Ravenous's instructions were a little bit more clear than the actual instructions given by Sammy, and you find this room easily. There's a lever, and you can see there's a wall that's been revealed, and you can see there's this secret entrance down. As you walk down the steps, silence suddenly rings out, and you can't hear any of the guided tour. You can't hear Nanto's whimsical voice ringing out from upstairs. And suddenly it's just silence, and then you suddenly hear distant footsteps, 3 sets of them, and perhaps the muted whispered voices of a few friendly companions, but it's a bit odd, that sudden silence that you hear from that descends over you as you walk down.
Would it be okay if I did a perception check here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but 17 Burke would definitely notice that abrupt change.
Yeah.
And he would just, stop Cutlery and say, something strange about this place. Hold on. And he would be walking down the stairs up and down a couple times to just figure out that, yeah, it's completely and utterly soundproofed.
Yep, that's magic.
I can just imagine him, he pokes his head above it, pokes his head beneath it, and then just does that 4 times.
This is not
Yeah.
nice.
I don't like this. But yeah, you're able to work out what the nature of it
And I
is.
would call out
Investigation
Lyroon.
pull-ups.
and I imagine that at one point while he's above, I'll say something and he just won't hear it.
Yeah, exactly. At one point or another.
Oh yeah, of course.
So yeah, you're able to work out the nature of this, but you start trooping your way down the stairs. Meanwhile, Ravenous and Hala and Noble Guardsmen make their way west.
Sorry. Real quick, the guardsman that we're at, how does he look?
The noble one?
No, the one that's on the stairs.
Oh, so the guy that Hala took out. Hala, was that lethal? Do you remember?
Guys,
It's non-lethal.
I'm really, really sorry. I forgot
one that's on the
to
one- the
guys
one-
password.
Sorry?
Oh, the password.
I forgot to tell you guys the password.
We'll figure it out one way or another.
Yeah. So you're making your way down the stairs. The first thing you come across.
The guy at the bottom of the stairs is unconscious. I did not kill him. He's just having a very bad day, though.
Yeah. So you can see he's tied up. He's his hands and legs behind him, and you can see his forehead's a bit of a bloody mess, but he's breathing. He's face down. You make your way down. There's a plate suit either side at the bottom of the steps.
I'm so sorry.
And as you make your way down the stairs,
Look.
the metal just grinds, and they stare at you as you walk down.
I'm so sorry. Oh God.
Glorious!
A weapon eyeing the plate suits greedily.
Sure.
Burrow
So
goes,
I just
"Ooh,
saw
survivor."
I saw empty plate suits move,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
and you can tell they're empty. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to call out because I know it's soundproof. I just want to say, Ravenous, what's with the armor?
Yeah, I mean, and you would.
Good point. It's
Yeah.
not that far,
Yeah.
Sam. Be nice.
No, the doors are open in your wake, so yeah, you would hear it, like this voice, the familiar voice of Library. Just at that moment, as you're calling out, they're both like, password. These two plate suits of armor just ringing out at the same time. Ravenous, you have just a moment.
Yeah, because Burke is already drawing a battle axe.
Dalliances!
So she's screaming out Dagger 4 Dalliances.
And that's what Dagger 4 Dalliances.
And they just sort of glance back the way that Ravenous has gone and then look back to you. Acceptable. And then just step backwards.
Acceptable!
They're not lemon grab then. Okay, good.
And then neatly in that moment, they've announced that those guys are there as well. So yeah, I assume you guys meet up, ready to go into the next room.
All 5 of us?
All 5 of you.
Oh, I thought I was still having the tour.
No,
yeah,
you,
no,
you
so
are. I'm talking about
including
Noble.
Mr. Noble, noble
I-
gentleman.
I imagine I would see all of the dead bodies. Are any of them salvageable?
No, they're far gone now. They're all dead. Like the only one who is not dead is the one you found on the stairs. The others are. You can tell from their wounds. It's milky white tentacles have had their way with them.
Of course.
Acid burns? Yeah.
Acid burns, cold, chilblains, and like smoky patches from eldritch blasts. Yeah, this is Ravenous' work for sure.
Nice.
I think brief introductions would be made to make sure that we know the new stranger.
Yeah, the noble gentleman sees you. More friends of yours. It's quite the rescue party. I must admit, I'm rather pleased that the 4 of you have come. I thought my days were done for.
And you, of course, aren't with the Lord Dash. Wow,
Flashheart.
That's
Dash
right.
Flash.
Dash Flash Mash.
God no, that bore. No, I have far better company to keep.
Excellent.
You saw the rest on the floor, right? If he was, he'd be with them.
I did see that. How very. Whatever.
Keep moving. I want to find Will.
I'll ask
No,
him.
I'll just point to the room. I will just point to the room where there's dismembered body parts, and just leave it at the and just have like a serious look towards the light room, and just keep on walking towards into the next door.
And I just like put a hand over Lyroon and like turn his head away from that door and just be like, "Let's go this way."
And I would like to say to the the nobleman, and you'd be willing to talk to the Duchess about all this terrible things you've seen down here.
In the next room.
Oh, you can believe I'll do a whole lot more than just talk about what he's been up to. Yes.
I've been taking artistic renditions of the entire event.
Yeah, I don't want to know what kind of art supplies.
Moving on.
Look, he's gonna do interpretive dance. All right.
Okay. So meanwhile, Halla is continuing to walk forward into the next room, and there are 4.
The interpretive dance got me.
And what you find is what looks like a common staff room. 4 guardsmen sat around a table. They've got drinks in front of them, meals.
No.
And
No, Sam.
this is they're in the midst of conversation. They just abruptly cut off and look towards the 5 of you walking in, and they're just like.
Can I use intimidation and just say, "You really don't want to try
Yeah, so
Yes.
at that point, Brooke would be also stepping in with considerable amount of blood on his armor and everything, and a shiny, bright battle axe in his hands. And
Okay.
just growl
Coated in
out.
gore.
Yeah,
Even with a nat 1,
stand
I
down.
got 15 on my intimidation.
Even with a nat 1.
Even with a nat 1, I got 15 on my intimidation.
What do you mean?
7 plus 8. 7 plus 8. I have no idea where
That's
you were getting this
not a
nat
1, it's a 7. That's your dyslexia
no,
betraying you.
No, because this is what D&D Beyond told me I had.
No, it was definitely a 7.
You rolled a 7. You just look like a 1.
Oh, I'm just really stupid.
This is what I was saying. It's your dyslexia betraying you. But you get advantage because Burrick's giving you the help action. So give me another intimidation check and let's see what the total result is.
Ooh, 20.
There we go. You walk in and you're just like, you don't want to give us trouble, and they just see this the bloodied state of Burrick just walking in, just this hulking hobgoblin who's splattered in guts and gore and God knows what else, and then this small blue-skinned tiefling who's just seems to be reverberating with power, and obviously they haven't heard a word of what's going on beyond. One or two just lean a little bit in their chairs and look down the corridor and just see
the D&D Beyond.
the D&D Beyond, and they just see down the corridor and there's some of this blood splatters, and they're like, "Okay, we don't want trouble. That's not quite our pay grade."
May I then ask, considering it was a correct and wonderful check of intimidation, may I ask, where is Will?
And they immediately all just glance
and
at
I
it.
just say, female, full set of plate.
Yeah, they don't need any qualification to it. They're already glancing to the
Okay.
south.
Okay, so we're going south, guys.
And Hollow is running over there.
Oh, they're gonna have a reunion.
And
Sorry.
so you immediately troop your way south, and there you see there's an initial room you walk into. What looks like another torture chamber. There's one of those stretching racks, and there's blood splattered around it. There's no one strapped into it currently. There's no one around it. And then there's a door over in the one corner, and through it, it's a cell grate door, and you see what looks like a very pissed off human. No plate armor on them as promised, but certainly
now.
pissed off.
How does Fowler react?
Can I speak?
Yes, you may.
Who's there? All right, you filthy inborn plowing spine. Come on! I know what you think you're gonna do, but one of you's gotta come in here first, and I promise you're gonna really get what's coming to you. Gets to the edge of the bars, grabs hold of them, and shakes them angrily. She's just furious.
Hollow will just beside herself, just scale up the door, and you just see like the two purple claws just pulling, and then her pulling up her face. Well, is that you?
Hala? Hala! Hala, you freaky purple little thing! Boy, am I glad to see you! What are you doing here?
Saving you! Oh my gosh! Oh,
I can't believe you came in here.
Of course I'm coming here.
What? But, I mean, did you... It's dangerous. Well, all right, okay. Great.
Oh, come on, it's
Thanks.
me. But do you really think that they would give me any kind of trouble?
Guess
and if they did, you know what happens.
I should have known better. Come here, you. And Willa's gonna reach out with her like beefy arms and hug Hala through the bars and just like lift her up into a cuddle through the bars.
And let's have a description of Will. What does she look like?
So Will, with her armor, looks very different. Without it, you can see that she is an incredibly tall human for either gender. She is female, but she is 6'5", I think it is in feet. Fairly buff, blonde hair, fair, rosy features, pale bluish gray eyes. But despite this very, fairly pretty appearance, she is just angry and wild. She clearly has the appearance of someone that doesn't skimp on training days.
Doesn't skip leg or arm day.
Leg or arm day. No bar body over here.
Leg, torso, and arm day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's probably the hair's a bit greasy and matted from being trapped down here for a few days. Doesn't seem to be any particularly visible torture wounds. But certainly the room that's outside promise there'll be plenty of that in the near future. The guardsmen that you just left, they seem to be, you can hear them with the door open behind you, you can hear them trooping away down the corridor.
Yeah, you better run.
I'll sit there. No, I'll sit there and just turn around, just point a finger. Don't you dare move.
I will instantaneously try the lock because that's who I am, and fail miserably because that was an 8.
Hey.
Looks at Laroon. Well, that's one fiery spirit. I wonder how she didn't break those bars herself then.
I tried. Who else is here? And she's like at the bars trying to see, kind of like around the corner, but obviously can't.
Yeah, I think Rook would step
I'll
into...
just get the keys. I'll get the keys and then just start opening the thing.
So Ravenous, like, ineffectually starts trying to pick lock and going, "Oh, I'm Ravenous, by the way. We could be friends." And starts picking the lock, but it's just not happening quite the way she wanted, and she's like tickling
so
around.
The tumblers just aren't.
And it's just not happening.
The tumblers just aren't quite clicking right for Ravenous today. I think next up
Hannah
was
fucking beefs me out the way.
well, but before she does that,
Ravenous like, whoa!
I think before she even does that, I think Will is trying to bust open herself. So give me an athletics check, Will.
Sure. I'm going to use my channel divinity for Peerless Athlete.
Oh.
Will, can you do this unbelievably buff? Am I going to be like in awe of you?
I hope so.
Let's see what
this
happens.
This is my first roll.
Yeah, the first ever roll of the game.
It's always a little bit disappointing, and then from there,
I don't know how to put
great.
advantage on this doohickey.
Oh,
just roll twice.
Okay.
That works too.
The DM is typing, apparently.
Well, I was just typing out the code as if.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, like, if you're on you're in D Beyond, right?
No. Well, yes, yeah.
Oh,
so it's
yes.
the same Avray
Yeah.
instructions.
So basically, like, just roll the check twice, and
Oh,
actually,
oops.
you can-
I rolled
you can write-
on D&D Beyond. I should have been rolling an average.
No,
All right.
you shouldn't. No, if you
We'll get that set up
there.
later.
Well,
We'll get it set up
that's
later.
real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
okay.
not
quick,
sorted
you can
yet.
You can just right click on the check you want to make, and then it'll ask you if you want to do advantage or disadvantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Will,
Yeah.
you're looking really sexy. Could it be the artist that drew you? I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. That's a good point. I need to get up the character art.
Yeah, you should totally like put that up on the screen and be like, "Yo, this person's great at art." Yeah.
Oh.
And how others-
24.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, first roll.
20 frickin' 4? Are you kidding?
All right, Hal, let's stand back. Nice to meet you, Ravenous. And I just lift one leg and kick through
So like
these bars.
Ravenous is like lock picking, and then like the door just like starts slamming into her face, like what? Hang on a second, I wasn't ready for this kind of power.
Will just kind of sniffs. Yeah, I'd done that before. Didn't work out so well, but hey, nice to see you brought friends. Hi. And she leans out, raises a hand, very, very casual about this situation. It's not the first time she's been in prison.
Oh,
Or
girl,
broken out,
girl
apparently.
knows her way around prison. Okay.
And of course, you'll see the tattooed, androgynous-looking wood elf, thin and wiry,
Beautiful and dainty is what you meant.
and absolutely covered in blood. Not all of it mine.
I'm gonna be honest. her eyes go first to Brooke, who is just this mountain covered in weapons.
All the
Hey,
weapons.
Pretty much.
Cutlery tray, yes.
So at this point, he's a touch shorter than Will.
Yeah, Will actually. I was gonna
Yeah.
say she steps up, she stands straight, and she checks who's taller.
Definitely by at least a
Oh.
few inches. But yeah, Burke standing there, his skin color is definitely still darker than any human's hood. But
Oh, and
by
she's
Hobgoblin
quite
standard-
pale. Yeah, puffing
Yeah.
her chest out, kind of
Yeah.
comparing
She's-
muscles.
dressed in a chainmail, which by this point is frankly it's a miracle that it's still sticking together because there are enough cuts to basically tear it apart. But yeah, he just looks in awe as you almost break down the door.
Mind if I
Okay.
borrow one of those? She points at one of the many weapons on you.
Yeah, make your pick, except for this one and that one.
Feel like there's a little love connection happening with the strong woman.
She points. She points at Ravenous, and she's like, "No, not again.
No.
No."
Oh.
She straight up points at Ravenous and goes, "No."
Just
Shutting that down
Howell just
right
kind of
now.
like, Howell just kind of like, yeah, like, oh, she's on a landmine, has that kind of expression.
No. Hala can tell you about the curse later. And she just reaches out and she'll take a weapon, basically at random. A spear,
grab-
a
Grab a great
javelin,
sword.
whatever.
Grab a great sword then.
I'll take a great sword. I mean, in the absence of a shield, are the other guards still there? Actually,
No.
I feel I've missed out something extremely important. Are the other guards still there, DM?
Yeah, so
I think
those four
to,
guards,
I
they
say
started.
to Will, whoa, Will.
Yeah.
I told the guards where to be.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Give
As I
her a
walk up
little,
and
like,
deck
wink to
the
the
closest
point.
one. I don't care who. This is a long time coming.
First,
I
so
really-
you
Don't
You
worry
start
about it,
walking,
bruh.
you would be stuck. Wait.
Nope. I don't care which one. I nod to Ravenous, like, yeah, great. That's real interesting.
Now, the first thing you do when you get to prison, walk up and punch the toughest guy you can see. I mean,
I
the same
swear,
thing applies here.
it doesn't matter which guard, whichever one is closest, because screw those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just tell them what their place is, and they will follow if they know what's good for them.
Yeah, see, lady with horns, she gets it.
Thank you.
When you do that, you just hear Burke somewhere behind you. Well, you see, we were technically legal. Oh, damn.
Don't even worry about it.
So, yeah,
nice
you can
to
see-
meet
you can
guys.
see-
We haven't broken anything because
Yeah, give me
locked
5.
my lock
Give me
fits
five.
new. There is no broken lock. Therefore, we have not breached any contracts yet. Just saying.
I'm not under contract. I can hit them.
About that.
You're not, but we are.
Cool. I'm gonna reach like her
I
arm
just
winds
grabbed
back
it
for
in
another
case you put your
punch.
guards at this.
So,
But nice to meet you guys. Any friend of Hala's is a friend of mine. Really short stuff. I'm all emotional and crap over here. Good job. And I deck another guard.
Rather just holds out a hand with a fist, ready for
I
a
fist
bump.
bump. Yeah.
Okay, good. We're buds. We're buds.
you can see the
Oh,
guards are
dude,
genuinely. The guards are genuinely terrified at this point. Like they've had a lot of trouble containing this prisoner anyway. But
Where's my stuff?
I just shoot a look to them like, where's this?
Play
stuff?
nice.
Intimidation check.
yeah,
As long as the DM is happy with that.
yeah, no, go for it. I mean, you can take advantage because it is basically the
Oh,
two of you.
absolutely help. Yeah.
So intimidation 1 is a 18, which makes it 17 because I have -1.
I was
Apparently.
No, you're
investigation.
rolling investigation instead of intimidation.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so 13, and then my next roll, because it was an advantage, is
So it should have been
Oh!
8. It should have been 18 plus 8, which gets you to 26. So
27 on the next roll.
yes.
Will gives a long whistle and looks at Ravenous. You even got me scared.
And I just wrap my tail around her like, do it, girl.
So yeah, immediately guards are like, it's over there. Oh, don't worry. Just please stop punching us, and then just start backing out of the room.
Start.
And like one of their comrades is like actually out cold on the ground after being walloped in the face by this hulking lady.
So he
yeah,
points
Jess,
at
it's
my
Jess.
stuff. I go towards it. I lean close to the guy. No promises. We'll keep going towards the stuff.
Oh.
So noticeably, your plate armor isn't there.
Hey, what the hell is this? Where's my Gramsci's armor?
Ravenous happens to strike up the fact that she has actually located a full set of plate armor in one of the rooms.
We've seen them just outside the entrance.
Seriously? What's it look like?
No, they were walking around and stuff, asking for passwords.
So I found a full set of plate armor. It looked like a guy's armor, but
Yeah, Will
you know,
shrugs.
it doesn't necessarily mean anything for
Yeah,
you.
Will shrugs.
Yeah. So
Lower, it was about a northwest from where we are. When we go upstairs, there's a full set of plate armor. Maybe it's yours. I don't know.
So if Ravenous describes it, does it sound to Will like her grandmother's armor?
yeah, it's a direct match. So the ones that are the animated armors by the door, they don't sound like it. But the one that she found, that was a lone suit, just standing idle, in the.
Flower, inbred, blue blood, noble. Took my grandmother's armor and put it on display. He better hope I don't see him again.
Cool. I really hope Flash
And-
is home right now.
Oh, don't worry. With everything that we got, he's gonna be going away for quite a long time anyway. Anywho,
Many
And we
things.
need to get out of here quickly before he comes back and kills us all.
Got it. I will
Do we-
reach down. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
I was gonna say, do we? Because I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a writ from the Duchess Morwen of Daggerford to say we were allowed to investigate this area.
And
Yeah,
he
no, that's- I
won't
think we
and
voted
won't
that
stop
one.
him, and that won't
Oh,
stop
hang
him
on.
from murdering us.
That's great, but what else does someone else say?
Bert.
Yeah, I think we voided that one once we killed a dozen of his guards, I'm afraid.
Yeah, they.
Does it?
Yeah, like
pretty
I wasn't there, but it
Ravenous,
seems
honey.
like they came for you when you opened something that was ineffectually part of the plot.
Right. So sounds like you guys got what you need.
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think we
reach
got.
down. As Hala's speaking, continue saying, but reach down, grab hold of Hala, place you on my shoulder. As
Yes,
Aww.
but carry on, please.
but Ravenous, honey, as much as I'd love to punch that smug so and so in the face repeatedly until the blood stops
I
flowing,
nod.
I just gesture towards Bjork, and because I'm pretty sure that he looks worse for wear.
Quite a bit.
Oh, hey,
He
that's a
made
good
me
point.
right.
I'm gonna reach out, put my hand
Ravenous,
on
like,
Rook, and
you use
her
the
hand into her bra of hole and goes.
yeah, you maybe that ain't the kind of TLC that he needs. I'm gonna reach out, put my hand on Baruch, and heal him for 20.
Voices. I have a ledger. I have this book. Maybe.
yes, and that will all be great if we can get it to who we need to get it to, like quickly, like.
Yeah,
Okay, so a few things happen simultaneously there. So Ravenous is taking out various evidences. Will is laying a hand upon Burek, and it's just this golden energy, radiant glow that envelops her hand and just washes across his body, and all those a goodly portion actually of those various bloody wounds
20
that are covering
HP,
his
yeah.
body. Yeah, 20 HP restored. So he looks well on the way towards his normal self, and he stands a bit straighter. But Burek doesn't like magic.
Poor
Yeah.
Lyroon gets nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Lyroon also hurt?
Lyroon is
Yeah.
almost very nearly dead.
Oh well. Here, let me patch that up. Hang on. I'm gonna raise my shield. There is a holy symbol there. It is a wreath of vine leaves, and she will cast Cure Wounds on you too. But
Can I make a religion check on what that symbol is?
Oh, come on.
I'm okay with it. But it's gonna be, I mean, DM, if you allow, pretty high
Yeah,
DC because it's not Faerunian.
Yeah, go for it. Let's see what you get. But I'm more interested in Burke's reaction to getting healed, to be honest.
Was that magic?
I think his first expression would be just of sheer shock, as though Will just comes by, her hand starts glowing, and as it touches, it's a strange feeling, a bit of almost a warmth, as if you've just drunk something pretty strong alcoholic. It's a bit of a shock, but it does feel good.
Alcohol is exactly right. So, Lyroon, you heal for... What the fluff did I roll?
Oh, and that
13.
20 religion check from Lyroon, so
Yes, I see.
immediately recognizes the nature of that religion.
So it's 13 plus my spellcasting modifier, so I think that's actually a 16.
I'll go to Lou while we're doing the maths.
Yeah, that sounds like 16
Monster
health.
math.
Yep, that's right. My charisma is a +3. So you heal for 16 health points, and as she does, you actually get the vague, warm alcohol taste as well. And you instantly know, yep, that's Dionysus.
Yo!
Yeah, this is a paladin of Dionysus, the god of wine, merriment, and madness.
Debauchery.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right, well,
I got the finding of Will, considering we had to go through an entire fucking battle, and then it's like, okay, let's just keep moving. I know there's pieces in this room, but let's go on to Will.
Yeah, so I want to get my grandmother's armor, if that's okay with everybody. Thanks
Yo,
so much for coming along with the rescue
there's
operation.
a-
Really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
so the armor that I talked about is that's your grandma's armor that you were wearing, right?
Yep, Gramsci's armor. Pass it on to me.
Okay,
yeah,
well, let's
but
get
And
detailed.
there is another person in these dungeons, apparently.
Whoa,
and I'm
whoa,
sure.
whoa. One of you
Hang
guys at a
on.
time. I know I look like the brightest bulb in the room, but I promise you, it takes a lot of concentration over here. I've not slept or eaten a lot in the last, how long's it been? Like a week?
3
dear
days,
Lord.
I believe.
Nice hug to say, it's okay, I'll let you sleep.
That's a dangerous proposition. Let's go get some armor.
yeah,
Yes!
we might as well get rid of one of those armor
Yes.
suits along the way.
Ooh, and I turn towards the guards. Tie these guys up.
Oh, tie
Um,
them up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. Who has good intimidation? Because I have good intimidation.
I'll crack my
I-
knuckles.
I intimidate. Okay, so myself and Will intimidate the guards to just submit to our will and let us tie them up.
I mean, they were trooping away
Oh
from
my
you
God.
guys.
I'm a 20 scary.
I got 17 scary.
Okay, so I mean, they
I'm
were
really
like
upset that I wasn't scary enough.
you already
Look,
laid.
You're really scary. And Will stands behind you, cracking her knuckles. Like, you better listen to the tiefling.
Well, it turns out that
Listen to the
Will,
good cop.
Will has that much more scary than me, and that's really daunting.
Yeah, so
Well,
I
it's
mean,
more scary.
Will had already laid one out anyway, but yeah, they were trooping away from you guys. They like pointed out where Will's stuff was and trying to basically just step out of this horrible prison dungeon.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, absolutely. Will is like, oh, I'm sorry. But for expediency's sake, Will just kind of walks over, kicks the unconscious guy closer to his friends. So, what say you we tie them up, grab our stuff? Your buddy, you said, is still in here? Elf guy, girl, whatever. We get the hell out of here. Sound good?
Just
Not-
one moment.
it's-
Evidence is taking the idea that Will doesn't have time for shit.
Yeah. No, I'm
just
dying for
hold
a
your
stiff
horses.
drink. But what's up, big tough red guy?
You see those two suits of armor over there? They
Yeah.
didn't seem too friendly. What do you reckon if we dismantle one of them?
Probably not the best idea. We should just
Fine.
probably walk
This
past
is
them.
armor.
But
Um,
there is one additional prisoner down here. The nobleman, his friend.
actually, Lyroon, did we tell you that?
I'll look at the guards that we've tied up.
But
Are there any
anywho,
other prisoners in here? You know it's not good to hold out on me, right?
Yeah, so I
I
think
was actually
I
about
think
to ask about that. The map. Could you pull that back up real quick?
yeah, I can get that back up. So yeah, at this point the nobleman is with you. He's just been watching this exchange, mostly just dumbfounded that not only these adventurers just rolled through no problem, just murking these guys, but as well terrifying
gross.
those into submission and then retrieving some gear. Yeah, he's still on the lookout though for his assistant. He's like, well, where is he? Where's
There's one more room.
I'll
Yeah,
nudge one of
Ravenous.
these guys. Come on, talk.
Ravenous takes a northward path. Let's see what's in the northward room.
Yeah, so you know, while Will is intimidating the last
Oh,
few
shit.
guards, the Ravenous just taking her way north, and
I will just hand Ravenous the keys as she goes.
Oh, I don't need your keys. Maria, let me.
Uh-huh.
Use the
Just
keys.
forget that I broke my last lockpick in the door.
If you need me to break stuff, just point me in the right direction. Meanwhile,
We'll manage.
I don't think I caught your names. He points at
Oh.
Brooke and Lyroon.
Lyroon, at your service.
Baruch, Master of Arms, at your service.
I don't need anybody at my service, but that's nice, I guess. It just seems to have a problem with that part.
Ravenous goes, Ravenous waves a hand and carries on in her direction.
Yeah, I caught your name, hot stuff.
And
Oh,
I take it you know
Wow.
how well enough.
he has claws.
Okay, so yeah, the two of you make your way north to go check out that final room. Open the
Oh,
door.
I was definitely going up there that way
Okay,
too.
okay. So Lyran joins them. What you find is what looks like the guardsman sleeping chamber. Yeah, there's just one guardsman asleep in his bed. Open the door, he just sees the three of you, and he's just like, no, I don't want any trouble.
They say, if you know what's good for you, just pipe it down. Now, what's the name of the companion?
Start with the T, right?
Dennis.
No, it's not. That was one of the
That's
gods.
one of the
names.
guardsmen. I think it's,
Okay.
It was like Tobias or something.
yeah, it's Tobias. It
Tobias.
was. That was it.
Good memory. I go, okay, pipe it down. Where's Tobias? And I use my intimidation.
Go for it. Oh,
Okay.
he's fairly scared because his three of you just marched into his
So
bed chamber.
advantage is what you're telling me, but I got a 20 on the
You got a nat
first
20.
round.
So yeah, you
28.
walk in and immediately you're just leveling a finger towards him. There's crackling energy running down the length of your hands, and he's just like, "Tell me, wait," and he's just like, and then he just looks to the nobleman with you, and he's like, "Oh, you want him? Oh, it's a bit too late." Mm.
Oh god! The body parts we found earlier!
Yep.
Yeah. And the nobleman's like, he just flings around that spear and levels it towards it. I'm sure I don't know what you mean. He's like, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It was Tony. It wasn't me. Please.
Ravenous says, look, we know you're lying. Will you be willing to testify against Flashheart for the crimes he's committed? And we can guarantee that you will be safe.
No, we can't.
You can certainly try. You can certainly try.
I'm
He's
not
like,
anywhere near.
look, don't kill me. I'll do it. I'll do what you need. Just please don't fucking kill me. And he's like backing up himself against the wall.
Ravenous wraps her tail around the shoulders of this man and pulls him close and go, you can stay near me.
Okay. So it's this strange blue skin teeth and this skimpy blue skin teeth, and just comes up and tail wraps him and drags him out of bed, and takes him away. Two of the guards are laid out. The other two are now tied up. Yeah, the five of you, six of you, troop your way out of the dungeon. Nobleman takes one brief pause to look at the bloody room that you'd found. and take away just a couple of mementos.
Ravenous knowingly looks into the room, considering what he said, pulls him close so he says nothing, and just puts a hand on Will's back and leads her forward so she doesn't look in.
Okay.
Did I know the person who was, tortured to death?
Not personally, and you certainly didn't hear any of it either. It's been pretty much silent since you arrived.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you would be working, we could just mention, there's one more of our party here, Nanto. He's upstairs distracting all the guards.
Perfect! Now I can go rob the rest of the fucking place!
We need to
Not now, Ravenous.
we need to get out of here as soon as we can. We need to get to the Duchess immediately.
And then when they seize the palace, I can take some of the spoils.
You can do whatever you want later, not now. You need to leave immediately.
And shiny things. Okay.
You can see slight disappointment in Burke's eyes as he considers all the possibilities, but fair points. And he will just add, Nanto is a curious soul.
That is a bit of an understatement.
So this other member, he's the healer, right?
Not exactly. One of the healers is right here.
Lyroon raises a hand. I have abilities to reconfigure.
What?
Key
You're a cleric? You don't look like a cleric.
It may not be the most comfortable of healing processes.
He pushes you to heal you.
The ability to heal you.
Wait. As she's donning her armor, because yes, she's gonna start to don her armor before leaving.
Oh yeah,
wait.
I lead her into the room with her grandma's armor, obviously.
So you guys are telling me you came in here without a healer? Damn, that takes balls. Wait, how'd you survive this long?
Because we're fucking.
I've been healing for several times your lifespan.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you're old. Good job. You're an elf. Big deal.
Good job, you're old. Oh,
I've done what you can do in a fraction of the time, so.
Oh, this girl.
This girl.
Just okay boomered you.
Strapping on her pauldrons, pulling on some sabatons, like, yeah, whatever, you're an elf, screw it.
She's ready for a fight, is what we're seeing here.
Oh yeah, she's upset that there's nobody left for her to punch. She is.
Oh,
yeah.
well, there are some guards leading Nanto. There are some guards leading Nanto around with his tour. So there is a possibility of punchability within that situation.
Look.
And as I've said multiple times,
yeah. Be good. I get it. Listen, I'm willing to go along with you guys with one exception. If I see Fleshheart, I owe him more than one.
And listen, what will you do when that giant explosions that have killed your dragons or whatever are leveled towards you, and you're immolated in a fraction of a second?
Yeah,
in his own house, no chance.
That's actually a fair point, because he could have done that a while ago, but all he wanted me to do is say some stupid phrase. Of course I didn't, but
What? Wait, whoa. I'm gonna...
Yeah, I don't know what in Tartarus it was about, but screw them, basically.
Hey, what was the
We'll look toward... I will look... No,
say? In rhyming slang.
Out of character, let's not have her say it.
No. Out of principle.
Rhyming slang.
Hala, you know that Will's infamous for her defiance. That's her name as a gladiator. Will the Defiant Glastina. You ask her to do something, she's gonna do the opposite. She's not gonna say it.
So yeah, she goes ahead and says the
I was
words.
thinking about that, but I was like, crap, do I have any pencil and paper? I mean, parchment and quill that she could write the phrases on? Because remember, on the legend that we found, it said that they were trying to get someone, and I'm guessing that was Will, to say a phrase, but they wouldn't. And even then, it didn't say what the phrase was.
Which ledger was this? Because
The one I found.
Yeah, the one you guys
Yeah.
checked out.
The one that I found, it said that they were trying to get someone to say it. I'm guessing that was Will. So whatever this phrase is, at least while we're in the manor, let's not say it.
Yeah, it was always this one creepy bald guy with a limp.
Creepy ball.
Okay.
Would we
Okay,
know
see,
who
now
that
we're...
is? Does that description match anyone that we would know?
That would probably be more for me to sit there and try to roll, just because
Yeah.
if there's anyone that Flashheart knew, then I could have probably have seen them.
Give me a history check. Let's see. I'm not saying even if you nat 20, you'll know him, but let's see.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's 20!
Of course.
So immediately is as soon as you hear the
get high rolls on all of your intelligence-based checks.
Hala is smart, okay?
secret smart.
Hala
You
gets head pats.
hear that description of a creepy bald guy with a limp, and then you think about who do you know in Daggerfall that matches that description. There's just one man that you've ever seen in Daggerfall that seems to match that. People who with a limp in Daggerfall don't tend to live too long anyway. But there's this one guy you've seen sometimes around the streets. You didn't know he's in Lord Flashheart's employ, but yeah, it's this creepy guy. He's got scars on his features, and he's got a walking stick, and he's got a sort of dusty-like coat, and he sort of walks with a hunch. And yeah, you've seen him about town. You didn't know he's associated with Flashheart though.
Yeah, screw that guy. You know what? Two exceptions. Flashheart and that bald guy.
Alright now, so I've seen this person walking around town before. I didn't know that he was actually part of Flashheart's his entourage. But irregardless, we need to hurry up. We need to get Naoto so that we can head up on out of here and get this to that lady that you was talking about.
I'll go
I'm with
grab
Hala.
Nanto, and you guys should already head over to the Duchess.
Hey, don't get caught. Take it from me. Not fun.
Noted.
But yeah, I'd like to wait for them so that we all leave together.
Yeah.
These guys, you guys went out of the way to, save my tail. I mean, no tail, human, stinky human. But you get my point.
Variant human, gross.
Ugh.
I said stinky human, but okay.
Very stinky.
I'm just gonna sit there and just try to expedite this. And this is me yelling, by the way, so I don't sit there and bust Discord. Naoto! It's time to go!
God damn it, Hala, you're on my shoulder. Jeez.
So I think
Sorry about that.
okay, Nanto.
Well, you
I
saved my
assume
butt.
that I hear this.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Yeah, you're still on a tour upstairs, and they just took you into what looks like a small bedroom. And they're just giving you like a room by room guided tour of the entire floor, just somewhere between petrified and mesmerized, and determined to give you literally every single room that they're able to of the room of the mansion.
Fantastic.
But I think we'll have to call it there because we're a bit over time, well, quite a lot over time. Unless you guys are up for continuing.
Yes.
But I assume.
Like, as much as it's like, I guess we could just to get out of here. This.
Yeah, I
Think
usually-
sadly,
that
people
part.
have lives.
I usually plan for ending around 4:15, so.
Yeah, 4:43.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
Yeah, it's fair.
And
But that's all right. We can pick up next Sunday. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed that. We
we found Will.
found Will at long last.
Finally!
Exception
What's
play.
success?
I was like, yep, Will is those pieces on the table. It just took that long to find her.
I'm so sorry.
And you've heard a tumultuous, massive explosion coming from elsewhere in Daggerfall. You know the arena's probably come to an end.
In
Meanwhile,
6 seconds flat.
Yeah, yeah. Meanwhile, Nanto's been given
Our
a guide,
writ is still official.
and then Nanto's been given a guided tour upstairs. But yeah, you just called him down. So you're probably going to try and make your way out of the mansion. You've got evidence. You've got a literal living hostage who is able to explain what's going on, albeit not in the least of crass of manners. And
Not
of
yelling
them.
the word bastard over and over.
2 of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
exactly.
yeah, you got two
two of them?
Do we
hostages.
count the guard?
have-
He's a third.
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5. And you seem to have a lot of what you need to be able to, and you got a lot of evidence as well. You got a lot of written evidence that seems to corroborate your case. So next week we should be able to. Well, we'll see what happens. So thankfully, you managed to find Will. Next week we'll have them featuring in a bit more, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you everyone. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so.
Excellent, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See ya.
Cheers, everyone.
See ya.